schwa. It begins. I would probably yell something, but I want to start this stream by saying that people at home, people in the chat, people watching the VOD later, you're going to be in for a fun time. I have come down with the sickness, so expect to hear me cough horribly a couple of times. And I have assembled a list of 42 Galaxy cards to show you.
42?
Yes. I'm literally sick. We are skipping spell traps. Fuck them. There's only like 6 of them anyway.
Right,
actually, that's not true. There's
part
like
2 then. Let's fucking do this.
No, there's no part 2. You don't need to look at the...
I guess we do Photon. You can put it in there.
Listen, spell traps are not guaranteed. Normally, I add those to fill time. Also, I don't think... I'm pretty sure Galaxy specifically doesn't have, like, a special field spell. They don't have, like, specific rank-up magics. They have a couple that, like, work with them. There's some weird cards in there, but no, we're monsters. And to clarify what we mean by Galaxy, we're going to talk about monster cards that have Galaxy in their name and are thus part of the Galaxy archetype. This will include, by extension, all Galaxy Eyes cards, but also that's probably like a third of these cards. So this will include all of the other Galaxy-type cards, several cards that say they always count as Galaxy monsters, and a couple of cards which are not called Galaxy, but directly reference them, such as Orbital 7 and Starliege Lord Galaxion, because that is not a Galaxy, but Galaxion's effect is literally summon a Galaxy Eyes Dragon, so he's a fucking Galaxy monster. This means you will be getting a look ahead at some Photon Dragons, which are Photon is technically separate, and also there will be a couple Tachyons in here, because Tachyon is technically separate. Like, we won't talk about Tachyon Cloud Dragon, for instance, even though that's a brand new piece of support for this deck type, because it's a Tachyon, not a Galaxy. We have to make this manageable. If we included Photon and Tachyon in the same list, it would literally be, like, I think 80 cards? Like, I think we'd be double the length between the other two types.
I would legitimately murder someone if they forced us to do that.
No, it's crazy. We can probably hit like we said, a follow-up Photon or Tachyon episode. But look forward to, there will be some previews to some Tachyon dragons, some Photon dragons, and other Photon cards. And we'll actually get some previews of some numbers, because there are some archetype numbers in here, and some chaos numbers. Also, yes, because we have Orbital 7, we do have Lilybot in here. So we have a wide variety of things. Before we get too deep, I'll check real quick. I don't think in the previous history, Galaxy has been a very, like, meta-strong deck. Yeah, nah. No real historic tops. You know, no, like, history of being an actual, like, meta-competitive archetype, but I think we can safely say that Galaxy enters the long line of tradition of the rival who summons big asshole dragons who are otherwise unsummonable to the, you know, list of Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetypes. As such, it has a long pedigree of being in there with the likes of Blue Eyes. I would argue Cyber Dragon, because Chaz, even when playing Armed Dragon, really doesn't play like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Rival. Arguably Red Dragon Archfiends, and obviously Galaxy is the Zexal-era version of that. So you're going to look at dragons that are big and have 3,000 attack, and attack you for lots of damage. Specifically, usually this is a light and a rank 8 deck. This also has, like, synergy with Blue Eyes, funnily enough. And the goal is usually to blind second and make a huge asshole that defeats all your opponent's monsters and cannot be stopped, and probably does, like, 16,000 damage, and also does, like, double that damage if they dared to make an Xyz monster, and some other stuff. Photon Dragon has some interesting requirements, and so may have been added into some rank 8 decks. The deck itself, if you're playing Galaxy is almost always built around a rank 8 Axis. They do have a couple Link monsters to try and like round out their package from the Link era, but I don't think either of them was super great. We'll be talking about them though. But all in all, it's an interesting archetype because it is definitely what we like to call, you know, the local legend type deck. This is the deck where if you're not paying attention, this guy is going to come to your locals and absolutely clap your cheeks, even if you're playing a meta deck, because sometimes people just aren't prepared to take 16,000 damage in one turn. It's becoming more common with Tenpai, but it's just, you know, not something everybody's prepared for. And so it's yet another iteration of big deck that punch hard. Funnily enough, I feel like
all my life points and some change. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, I feel like that's actually something that like when we get to Arc 5, though. Hey, the Galaxy kid was in Arc 5, so there's going to be some Pendulum Era support for these decks. But the Arc V, like, rivals and villains don't actually really, like, subscribe to that normal archetype of just, hey, I have a big asshole that I turbo summon. Like, I guess, like, Raid Raptor can go that way, but I feel like all of the various characters in Arc V are much more technical. And there are several characters who have really big, strong guys as their main trick.
The original iteration of Raid Raptor in the anime was definitely me summon big asshole. Because Rise Falcon's effect in the anime was it gets the attack of every social summon monster on the field, not just one.
Yeah, no. So
so it does just the first time we see him duel, he goes up against the trio of dual terminal rejects, the Gemknight, X-Saber, and Constellar.
Right, those guys were in an anime,
and like they all summon a full board of assholes like turn one. Shun summons Rise Falcon, and it's like 20,000 attack points or some dumb shit. And he just wins.
So Raid Raptor kind of like was that, and that's fair. That deck is definitely an interesting like climbing trick. I definitely feel like, cause like I don't even know if I'd say like I don't think. I guess like the equivalent is Dragon Link, but like. The Boro Link guys go even so further beyond just being me M3K. It's a weird one. Also, the deck itself is like, despite what people say about Dragon Link, rockets are actually like way more technical than just summon big guy. It's like, how do I put like 4 guys on the board so I can summon a really big guy? So I feel like as Yu-Gi-Oh gets a little more complex in the summoning mechanics, we get away from it. But Galaxy is kind of not that. It's a deck that does have some very technical plays. I'm going to show you some cards, both from the old school days and from the new school days, that you are going to be like, I've never heard of this Galaxy monster before. I literally do not know what this is or where it came from. Like I said, from multiple eras, I think some people will have that response. But fundamentally, the deck doesn't change. You stick 2 8s on the board, at least, and then make a really big guy, and possibly inherently rank that guy up into a bigger guy.
So are we doing, like, I remember this was discussed slightly. Are we just doing, like, the Galaxy line, or are we going to talk about a handful of Photon assholes and whatnot?
So we're doing all Galaxy archetype monsters, we will mention that includes all Galaxy Eyes, and thus will include crossovers with Photons and Tachyons, but you're not doing Photon itself. That will be a separate episode. But we'll start at probably the key monster. Yeah, I got like 42 of these, so we're doing fine on just Galaxy. So we're gonna start at not the beginning, but at the point where you might have a start of the episode. This is kind of the centerpiece here, the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon.
Yeah, you kind of have to know what this card does, how he exists, to understand the entire archetype.
Yeah. The funny part is that while Galaxy Eyes is obviously very clearly the Zexal era analog to Blue Eyes, this is not the end game of this deck. Much like how, Kaiba eventually picked up some extra tricks like, summon Obelisk, make Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, etc. Photon right away is going to have some extra pizzazz, but for starters, we are clearly defining our, archetypal vibes, which is big purple dragons in space. He's very clearly in space. And honestly, I think this color palette is used a couple different places in Zexal, and it's all right. We've got kind of like a cyan or teal blue, a darker purple, and some like very bright like magenta pinks and purples in there.
Yeah, like with Galaxy Eyes, he's like, like I said, very much the Blue Eyes analog.
Yeah.
But the bright blue really does kind of serve to give it a more kind of vibrant palette, I guess. Because like when you look at Blue Eyes, nothing's really wrong with him, but you can very clearly tell he is an old design. But you don't have to be complex to be iconic or cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Looking at this guy, all I can think of is just a dragon version of Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
That is kind of an aesthetic you might see with some of these big galaxy monsters. They do like to do that. And obviously I used Galaxy Cyclone, which is technically a galaxy card. It's just, a staple. It's been reprinted like 6 times if you want to try the Galaxy Cyclone variant.
I know
Yeah,
we
here he
say
is, the
this
big
a lot
boy.
as well, but just how muscly these guys can be.
Don't forget to
Quiet
keep
for
your
anybody else.
Yes, Loth is super
Sorry.
quiet.
I leaned away from my microphone.
Yes, you can't do that because Discord is bad now.
Why is
They
your volume low?
did something. I mean, it's
You know what? I've
it's something about how Discord updated and how everybody's audio is piped is fucking weird now.
How's this?
I mean, it sounds alright. I still got you at like 200%. I don't have to tune you down, so.
Change the decibel input thing.
Sounds a little better. I might be more consistent. Anyway, my joke before we talk about what Galaxy Eyes does is I hope everybody's ready to summon this as a level 100 summoner in Dawn Trail.
You fuck.
I mean, what? Solar bomb it. It's just this. So Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which, by the way, for some reason, I want to let you guys know. I do not know why. I think it's because they rebuilt their image database, but they've got like a like super prismatic secret scan or something of it. This is the version they have chosen to post as the scan on the Wikipedia, the like most
even, like-
unintelligible version.
You can't even comprehend what this card is called.
I don't.
This is the real hieroglyphic shit.
Yeah, no, it's little did we know they made an astral language print of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Luckily, its text
This is
is
an
still
actual language.
legible.
This is the hieroglyphics raw reprint of Galaxy Eyes.
Yeah, no. Luckily, the effect text box is excluded from the foiling, but still, it's bad. So Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is a light dragon, level 8, 3k attack, 2500 defense. Pretty normal, Blue Eyes stats here. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 2 monsters with 2000 or more attack. So this is pretty key in the year 2011 when this was printed first. So, this card's over 10 years old now. Konami was already thinking, okay, so Blue Eyes bricks a lot. How do we fix this? Well, we'll give it an inherent special. It still requires 2 tributes, but it's an inherent special. During the battle step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, target that opponent's monster, banish this card from the field and that target. Return those banished monsters at the end of the battle phase. If you banished an Xyz monster, you gain 500 attack for each material it had when it was banished. So this is very clearly a technique designed to out Xyz monsters. Not only does it mean that Galaxy Eyes Photon gets bigger if it is banishing Xyz monsters with material, and it also handily, by the way, gets rid of material attached, because when a Xyz monster is removed from the field, its materials go to graveyard. So
Yeah, and, like a major thing to kind of keep in mind for Galaxy Eyes, and just everything in Zell, is that numbers monsters could only be destroyed by other numbers monsters.
Yeah.
So Photon Dragon by itself could not kill shit, but he get rid of all those nasty materials and become a giant big fuckhead.
Yeah. And I said we had a couple, I think I got a couple of spell traps in here, but we're not doing the primary focus. But this guy does have a signature attack. In case you needed to know how much of a Blue Eyes he is, its signature attack spell is called Photon Stream of Destruction. Hametsu no Photon Stream.
Kaito is also kind of a dude.
Well, yeah, no duh, he's using the Blue Eyes. That means he's a Kaiba. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters are like Fire Emblem characters. Everybody's got a type. You've got your Yus, your Kaibas. I don't actually know if Pegasus is enough of an archetype.
Or different timeline or not, they will still we still have to have our Yugi and Kaiba analog.
I mean, we're making another goddamn Blue Eyes structure deck, so
We are.
yeah, that was announced a couple of weeks ago. You probably weren't back yet. The OCG announced another Blue Eyes structure deck.
While I was gone.
Yeah, I think it was while you were away
Yeah.
on vacation. They announced another Blue Eyes structure deck, and it's going to have 8 new cards. That's right, Konami's already calling their shot. They're going to tell you they're giving you 8 new cards. Luckily, there are actually a shitload of new Galaxy and other related cards as well coming out. You know, it's not completely uneven distribution.
I wonder if they'll make a new Crimson Dragon for Blue Eye Spirit to summon.
I'm.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
What Photon Stream of
I'm-
Destruction does is... Go ahead, Loth.
Sorry, I'm just sitting over here languishing in my Z arc phase where it's like we wait forever for any kind of support and we still we've got one Synchro Z arc. Where's the rest? Where's the...
Don't worry, we got to print Blue Eyes first. You'll get it after we get like the 17th wave of DM support.
No.
But Photon Stream is a quick play spell card that says if you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, target a card on the field, banish it. You can only activate this during your turn unless you control specifically Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. This is very similar to Spiral Flame Strike, which is Pendulum Dragon's like iconic attack spell, in that
yes.
it lets you do a thing if you have a weaker requirement, but if you have the actual iconic monster, you do a bigger thing, as opposed to stuff like Inferno Fire Blast and Dark Magical Blast, which both name check exactly, Dark Magician and Red Eyes. Our plot to get around this is Red Eyes forces you to use Red Eyes Fusion, a card which is dog shit. It's so shocking to me, by the way, that Red Eyes Fusion was a card that was so groundbreaking, you know, like 8 years ago, is now absolutely dog ass. Fucking terrible.
That's how it is. Meanwhile, cards from like 20 years ago are seeing play now.
But, yeah, it's funny. I believe Duel Links just had to ban Smoke Grenade because they added the Infernoble package, including Charles, the Synchro Charles. So that's funny.
Smoke Grenade, Smoke Grenade is one of those cards that just shouldn't exist. You know, just shouldn't.
Yeah. Hand rip's not
Don't
fun.
need it.
But yeah. So this is a case where, like, if you have a Galaxy, you can banish it. If you have Galaxy as Photon, it's an actual quick play and can be activated on your opponent's turn as well, which can be a very nasty form of interruption. But now we're going to talk about a very funny case, because actually making Galaxy like a proper archetype like took a while. And let me actually make sure we're not forgetting too much. By the way, Photon Stream came out like way later, but it's just something I'm mentioning now because it is the iconic, you know, thing. It's literally the Wikipedia is like, oh, it's related to the feature signature move, because that's a thing that does happen sometimes.
It like you always get it because like I know Spiral Flame Strike was like way late down the line of the Odd Eye support when Odd Eyes had become an archetype. So they probably did the same thing with Photon Stream where like, okay, well they're like, well Galaxy Eyes is like the like our Blue Eyes is our big asshole. Kite has like 15 different Galaxy Eyes XC's monsters.
Yeah, we need some mix up in here. Is that? Yeah, it's not a monster card. I want to make sure we got everything, because there is a very funny thing though that does happen here, where, like I said, it takes a while for the card game to actually make Galaxy a proper archetype. So first, we're going to talk about monsters that have Galaxy in their name and were released around the same time as Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon, but are absolutely unrelated by the standards of the modern game. We start with number 83, Galaxy Queen, who is Galaxy Xyz monster, and she did come out in 2011 in Photon Shockwave. But there is no synergy whatsoever between these things in the...
If I remember right, Galaxy Queen is part of the weird, wacko, like, it's a one-off duel where we're dueling against a character who's like not Luke Skywalker, basically.
He is a kid that is basically the star of basically a Toku show.
Yeah.
And the idea is that Galaxy Queen's actually based off his, I think, his absentee
evil
mother.
Galaxy Queen is the evil stepmom. He's got like a lion spaceship thing or something.
It's all like the weird one.
Yeah,
it's
the Sparrow family, so it's like Esper Sparrow, etc.
Yeah. I couldn't remember the name of the fucking thing.
Also, by the way, I just want to talk about how fucked up this is. I dredged up the trivia for Galaxy Queen here. Represents its original owner, who was known as Nelson Andrews in the dubs, Fuyo Okuraira in the Japanese version. Galaxy Queen represents his mother, Mrs. Andrews, who, by the way, also played the Galaxy Queen character in the TV show. Like, just like, wow, okay, talk about, the whole, back and forth. And also, I think she was possessed in the show or something. It's just like, wow, okay.
It's like I'm trying to remember, because I watched it, like, back when I was in college.
No, I'm pretty sure she's alive.
She is alive,
it was
yes.
A weird one-off episode. It was bizarre. Like,
it was like two-parter, actually.
Yeah.
The character comes back a couple of times, but I don't think his deck really matters. But there's a couple of these, which, like I said, I don't... Because, like, again, very explicitly, this is, in the OCG as well. This is Numbers, Hachiju-san, 83, Galaxy Queen, So, I feel like this is probably in the case where the script writers probably weren't, like, locked in on the idea of using Galaxy specifically as Kite or Kaito's, like, identity, as somebody in chat brought up. A lot of the early stuff in Photon Shockwave was actually the Photon monsters kind of, like, created the bottom layer below Galaxy Eyes, and, like, the Galaxy Eyes part was the important part. But then for some reason, they kind of chickened out and were like, well, we can't have all these Galaxy Eyes monsters. That would be like as if there's a whole support of monsters that have Eyes of Blue or something. Actually, I don't even know if they had Eyes of Blue yet in, like, 2011. I think they had a couple.
Eyes of Galaxy.
But, like, it feels like they kind of, like, went back, and it leads to this confusing part where technically Galaxy Queen is a numbers. She is a Galaxy Xyz, though she is a dark spellcaster. Spoilers. So, like, there are going to be Galaxy and Photon cards that are going to, like, key off her. You'd never play this deck, actually, in the Photon setup.
The other unfortunate part, she's a rank 1 that needs three mats.
Yeah, this is the thing they did with rank 1s, is they made them very weird. She's got 500 attack, 500 defense. She requires 3 level 1 monsters. Once per turn, detach a deceased material from this card until the opponent's end phase. Monsters you currently control can't be destroyed by battle, and if they attack a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. This card is terrible, and I do not think it has ever seen play.
Yeah, like, it's funny, like, I want to say this card and Baby Turagan were, like, our first rank 1s, and they're both just intentionally dog shit on Oops.
They have some very funny, weird little things, but the problem is that, like, and I get it, okay, you know, when you're making a new extra deck type, you take a little bit to figure out the identity. Many of the first couple waves of fusion monsters absolutely sucked and have only ever seen play as, like, very funny instant fusion targets, you know, shit like that. Some of the early synchros are, like, clunky as hell, though a lot of them are busted. So, like, the guys designing the game didn't really know what we were going to do with this. But still, as a, like, rank 1 strategy, a card you have to stack 3 monsters to get, this doesn't do anything. It just protects you from battle for, like, a turn 3 times. And it gives your monsters piercing? Nah, it doesn't make any gosh darn sense. There's no cohesive strategy here. Which also continues in the further adventures of that one kid's deck, because this is also from his series of episodes. But once again, this is, strictly speaking, legally a galaxy monster, Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer. Or Chojigen Robo Galaxy Destroyer.
I didn't think about all these cards because considering I think it was just because Zaru has it where all the numbers cards are from other.
Well, this is not a numbers
universe. Oh, okay.
Also, sorry, I just want to quickly say this because I forgot to earlier. The mom isn't dead because she doesn't have that one specific hair thing that nearly all dead anime moms have.
She doesn't have the side plait. Yeah.
Well, it's also the whole plot they were doing was that it was at TV. It's like the great twist is the big villain's actually his mom that's been corrupted. That was it. That was the twist for like the meta plot.
She was
like,
possessed.
The show's plot in the show. So, yeah.
Okay. Thanks for over-explaining, Max.
Yes, you antied his joke for no good reason.
Sorry, that was something that was like sitting in my head for like fucking.
I already
Can't
said that she was
believe it.
possessed.
I threw out a joke, and then you were there with the perfect command grab to say no.
I'm pretty sure we mentioned evil stepmom like twice too.
Well, that's not.
But yeah.
No, it's not.
So
There's
anyway,
literally an equip
this is-
card that talks about how she's possessed. It exists. It's not printed because it's dumb.
She's not a stepmom. Sorry.
Also,
So
yes, she's
here's-
not
here's-
actually a stepmom. I don't know if they changed that in the
Here's-
dub, but it's just Mrs. Andrews.
Here is totally not Soundwave.
Uh,
Transformers.
I mean, no, he's got
That
wings.
was
This
like
is definitely like a
second early
rip-off of like
2000s,
Voltron or something. So this
Or
is also
any of,
used by
like-
that guy Nelson Andrews. He makes it an episode by overlaying some guys. Funnily enough, he does actually, according to Wikipedia, he offers to loan it to the protagonist of Zexal, Yuma, but he doesn't take it. So like, it's funny once again that this card like gets mentioned a couple of times, and once again we just have a guy whose name is Galaxy and is an Xyz monster. This one's even light. Has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that we're gonna turn Galaxy into a whatchamacallit, like an archetype later. It's really funny. I feel like any of your hope for if you liked Galaxy Queen or Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer, you're fucked now because we've turned Galaxy into something different.
Yeah, so on the flip side of Galaxy Queen, as we mentioned in the chat, this is a rank 10.
Yeah, this is a rank 10 light machine even.
Needs 3 level 10s.
Yeah.
And it has 5,000 attack.
Big attack. Also has a very fun effect. Soft once per turn. Detach 1 material from this 3-mat card. Destroy all spell traps your opponent controls. Your opponent can't activate spell traps in response.
Just spell speed 4 Feather Duster. Fuck you.
Your back row,
That is-
give it to me. So yeah, no, absolutely. I think this has been reprinted several times. This may still see, actually no, only once. They reprinted it in Maximum Gold recently, which is good because it hadn't been printed in 10 years. But like, I think this card does still see fringe play in rank 10 decks because it is a light machine that does like legitimately destroy all spell traps your opponent controls and they can't respond. Actually, like, has a utility.
Yeah, if you're a rank 10 spam deck, you probably slot this guy in there as like your 15th slot because it's funny. Like you may only go into it like once a tournament, but when you do, you're going to send psychic damage directly to your opponent.
Yeah, no.
They're just gonna stare at you and cry.
Yeah, it's a great little one. So yeah, like I said, there are a couple of cards that are Xyz monsters that are technically Galaxy cards, but are in no way used by this archetype. Though I think, isn't it Numeron Force? One of the rank ups is skip 2 steps, and it has to be the same attribute. I think you could make Super Galaxy Destroyer that way, but
I believe it's Astral Form.
Astral Force, yeah. It's one of them, like I said,
Yeah.
is 2
Same
ranks
type
up, but
and
same
attribute, but 2 ranks higher.
same type. Okay, so it doesn't work because it's
It
a
has to be a
machine.
rank 8 light machine. I don't think there are many. I don't think there are many of those.
No, hypothetically it could work, but you wouldn't. Anyway, let's talk about a card whose name is not Galaxy, but is a specific bonus to Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. This card has only been printed 1 time in the Zexal Collection tin. This is Dimensional Wanderer. Say something nice about him.
I like that he's got the classic, old style cartoon like a homeless pouch.
He's got a little hobo bindle, yeah, but it's a cube, so it's
Yeah,
sci-fi.
I was trying to think of the right word.
He does look like a Metabot. That is true. It's actually true.
Okay, Zed beat me to it.
That's correct. I'm pretty sure there is actually one of the original run of Metabots who has a head that looks exactly like this. I don't remember which one that might be, but it's right. But yeah, he's just a little guy, and he's clearly exiting some sort of extra-dimensional space. Now, the reason why this guy is here is because this is a light level 1 spellcaster with 0/0. When a monster is banished by the effect of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, inflict 3,000 damage to your opponent. You can only Dimensional Wanderer once per turn.
What?
Yeah, this card just goes. Just dome your opponent for 3K. Who cares?
It basically turns Galaxy Eyes' funny little like spot removal battle trick into a direct attack. Obviously, because it is not in archetype, it is absolutely not searchable. It only works with exactly Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon's banish effect. This does not work in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! This card, once again, was printed in 2013 in a tin, in the prime Xyz era. This is fucking hilarious.
It was
this
used
card
in an episode, and it works essentially as that.
Yeah, this card is hot fucking garbage.
But it's
It is
so
novelty
funny.
trash. It's a novelty.
If it did the fact that it does 3,000 damage, you look at this card and you're like, but I want to play it. I want to play it because it's so funny, but it's never worth it. You do not need to do it.
It was probably played in 1 episode for like 1 bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Like it was probably played in some random one-off chaff duel where Kite just had a dunk on a random Barian asshole.
He dunks on Yuma a fuck ton, to the point that like literally him and Astro are afraid of him.
I mean, if I got OTK'd by Galaxy Eyes once, I'd probably be a little like, shit, I don't want that to happen.
It turns out
again.
having 3K attack monsters and only having 4K life points is not balanced at all.
It's true.
If
It's
I
really
lost
not.
somebody playing Dimension Wanderer on me, I would be afraid of them too.
I'd just be like, get me out of here.
It's more of he did the thing of Yuma summoned the Xyz monster. He then did the badge effect to basically destroy his Xyz monster, and then also still hit him for face.
Yeah.
And then basically, he didn't get finished off because I think of plot reasons, but it still terrified the fuck out of him.
Anyway,
he
because
got
we
naughty.
usually do alphabetically in these mini pockets, we're talking about a card that is related to Photon and Galaxy monsters, but is not. This is Lilybot, or in the OCG, Obomi. Egg robot.
Yeah. Are we gonna talk about her life partner?
Yes. Well, you know what?
Because
Fuck it. Let me grab that. Let me just put him on screen too.
They are name checked.
One literally goes into the other. So yeah, we'll pull that one up as well. So here's her other half here. We've got Orbital 7, whose name in the OCG is Obitaru 7. And it just these two cards go together. I'll explain how that works in a second. So I've never sat down and watched the Zexal season. aesthetically, I don't want to say that Lilybot is like really out there. I'm just like, I am perplexed by the fact that we've got these fucking lost in space ass little helper robots all of a sudden. Isn't this show about going to elementary school and shit, and then aliens invade?
It's not.
From
Actually,
what I remember, I think Lilybot is just like it's just one of the random trash
collector. It is one of the trash collectors. Yeah.
Okay. So in our future society, we have like. Oh, I know these are characters because they show up as character name checks in different video game sources.
So to give you the down low, Zexel basically is we have a hyperfuturistic city where basically extra deck cards don't exist until aliens show up in the form of extra deck cards, and then it becomes like a reoccurring thing of our main character has basically a buddy who is an alien from this other dimension.
Okay, I know. I'm familiar enough with the plot. Stop.
So it's like
it's
not Alien Debate.
On my own show, I do not wish to be educated about seasons of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime.
Fair.
I don't care that much.
I don't need to explain. I did explaining, which means it's poor.
But Lilybot is they've got little trash robots. Okay, so that's fine. Like I said, I don't think it fits the aesthetic as much. I mean, Orbital 7 looks kind of like a lab assistant because he's got those weird grippy claws. Why does he have beast mode? What's going on with that? Why?
Oh, that's what he tries to literally kill the characters. He literally tries to kill them many.
But why could he do that? Who didn't make this robot 3 laws compliant?
It's because he's from Barrier
creator.
World, so he's evil or something.
He's a combat robot.
Fuck. Never would have guessed.
Meanwhile,
Go ahead.
Looking over at the French-shaped one on the right. That's all I'm doing.
French-shaped one.
My favorite part of Orbital 7 is that he has. I think we mentioned this last week. He has probably my new favorite counter name.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Lilybot is a level 4 light machine, 500 attack, 2k defense. So actually, decent stats. You can afford setup turns because you're playing in the Zexal era, so you may be looking at some Xyz Axis. And honestly, there's a decent amount of rank 4s in here to support Galaxy. We'll see some rank 4s later. Lilybot says, if this card is normal summoned or flipped face up, target an Orbital 7 in your graveyard, special summon in face up attack position or face down defense position. Once per turn, you contribute any number of machine monsters, special summon an equal number of Photon or Galaxy monsters from your hand.
Yeah, that's I don't think either of these characters were cards, but that's a pretty damn good effect.
Yeah. Orbital 7 has the exact same stats. He is also a light machine 4 with 500 and 2k. And his effect is the effect we love so much. When this card is flipped face up, place 1, you got it, boss, counter on this card. You can remove all, you got it, boss, counters on this card. Its attack becomes 2,000. After you change this card's attack with this effect, it cannot attack your opponent directly for the rest of this turn and is sent to the graveyard during the end phase. You can tribute this card, target a Photon or Galaxy in your graveyard, add it to your hand.
I believe in Japanese the counter is called Aiser. It's kind of like one of the more generic very similar to you got it, boss style in Japanese.
Yeah.
But yeah, Orbital 7 is just Kite's little goon robot. He's here to be a little guy. He's just a little helper.
And certainly that effect is helpful, because, hey, if you can flip it face up, you do the counter, its attack becomes 2k, which means it is tributable for Galaxy S Photon Dragon. And then also, no matter what, you can just tribute it to add a Photon or Galaxy from your graveyard to your hand. And then, Lilybot, if you used it, can tribute itself to summon it. So, it's a cute little line. I think that there are so many Galaxy cards that are actually really good these days that they probably don't come up. But considering they were printed in a couple of odd sets, Orbital 7 was actually a core set in Cosmo Blazer in 2013, and Lilybot was added later in Dragons of Legend in 2014. Pre Pendulum. That's actually a cute little combo. You know, it's thematic. It works. It's neat.
Yeah, like the interesting thing with Galaxy / Photon, that I'm sure we made the joke before. There is just such an absurd glut of cards in both the Galaxy and Photon line that no one really knows what like the best Galaxy deck is, because everyone has their own build, everyone has their own opinion.
That's right. Yes.
It's not like it's not like Dark Magician, Red Eyes, or Blue Eyes, where yeah, they have a lot of cards, but it's very clear like what cards are the good ones.
Yeah,
and which
you
ones
can
suck
if
ass.
you're building a Red Eyes deck, you can usually find, you know, the 20 or so monsters that are the ones you need to use.
Yeah, worth running.
I feel like Dark Magician decks are very bottlenecked right now, actually. Like, Master Duel made a Dark Magician structure deck, and people are like, okay, this is how we run DM now. Blue Eyes, there's some variation, but yeah, usually it's also, like, very, very funneled. Galaxy is wide open-ended because there are just so many in Galaxy, Photon, and now Tachyon. And actually, this is a good point to bring up because Vesper wasn't in the call yet, but I brought this up earlier, that Galaxy is another one of our classic local Legends types deck. They've never really had any decent tops as a standalone deck. There have been some Galaxy Eyes cards in some top contending decks, but Galaxy has never, like, stood on its own as a real big hitter. But it will absolutely kick your ass if you're, you know, playing on Master Duel Ladder. You're going to your locals if you're not paying attention.
It was Dark Matter it was Dark Matter Dragon that was like a giant problem forever, right? Or
It was
one of
fun
them?
the one time I got to play
For a format for a little bit, yeah. But
I do want to say, as I think the person that's played like Galaxy the most here, but that the only Galaxy player, because I think everyone's tried it somewhat. But
I think we all tried
what-
we tried to see if something would work during the
I will say
Exceed
it's
era on
even the good
Ron.
way. It's bricky as shit.
Oh, no, I mean, they tried, but unfortunately it's a deck designed around a level 8 Big Bungus Dragon. I don't know if
They make
Konami
it-
has yet designed
they
an
make it-
unbreakable version of that deck.
They make it work better as it goes, because a lot of cards you can work around where you basically pay the Galaxy Photon Dragon as cost, because you only need it in really engrave anyway.
Like, I think going back to that analogy for, like, rival characters, like, I feel like the way that, like Rocket got around this is, one, they're actually level 7 Dark Dragons, but the other is that the whole point of Rocket and Dragon Link decks is just you keep shooting your shot, right? You keep blowing up your own guys to turbo out more guys. And they don't actually have to have stats that are good because you're going to turn them into a Boral Dragon. So, like, Konami's way to, like, make the decks unbreakable involves not playing level 8 Big Bungus Dragons. You put them in the extra. That's how it works. So this is Galaxy Dragon, whose name is Galaxy Dragoon, long U, so technically should be Galaxy Dragoon. And he's a guy.
Like this is just Galaxy Eyes, but a slightly more man than dragon.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is Galaxy Ice Dragonborn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. Like, he's just more, you know, and, you know, it's Trogdor, you know, it's like Trogdor was a man, maybe he was a dragon, maybe he was a dragon man. That's this guy. He's the dragon man.
His jump cover.
Cashmere.
Yeah. He could listen. This guy could throw some jumps, throw some high jumps.
This guy is built just a little bit differently, where if he had larger shoulder pads, you could totally tell me that he is a football player.
Yeah, no. This is something you talked about earlier when we showed Galaxy Eyes, but a lot of Galaxy monsters are also fucking ripped. I think it was just the direction of the art style at the time, but, like, this is a burly dragon man. Look at the veins. He has veins of light.
Cyber veins.
So
we're gonna get a lot of Galaxy monsters that they're either jacked as shit or in full armor and are just chunky.
Also,
Yeah.
anyone else getting vibes of Elemental Hero Kluger?
a little bit. It's because he's got, like, the dragony shape, and it's
what?
the purple.
Yes,
Kluger.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
What is it? Stratos and
Yeah,
Fusion?
okay. I wasn't sure. Yeah,
I think I got the
the
name
wings
wrong.
and everything too, like really give it that vibe.
He doesn't have wings on his head. So Galaxy Dragon is a level 4 light dragon, 2,000 attack, 1,200 defense. He can't attack directly. He can only attack Dragon-type monsters. If this card battles a Dragon-type monster, though, it gains 1,000 attack. And also that monster has its effects negated during the battle phase so long as this card remains face-up on the field. So it's like a weird...
It's a niche effect.
Yeah, it's not like really a counter Galaxy Eyes card because that would be 3K and they just crash, you know? But it has some weird effects, but you can tell that much like a guy we're not going to talk about today, but it is an integral part of this archetype's general brew, Photon Thrasher. Konami had to come up with a lot of excuses for level 4 cards with 2K attack to give them downsides so that you couldn't just summon a bunch of 2K guys and attack with them.
The price of 2,000.
I'm just gonna ask so someone in chat can feel validated. Are we gonna bring up Googly Eyes today?
Oh, Googly Eyes Drum Dragon? No, that's not in my. That's not in my list. We could bring it up though.
It's not really a Galaxy Eyes card because it's a rank 8 that needs machines.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have any relevance.
It is like not directly related to the archetype, and it is machine locked. It's a funny guy.
I feel like I put it on the list. I should have just pre-made the list.
No, because like I said, I'm gonna dig up some shit you're not gonna know about.
Apologies.
Like, I still think like I think there's two things to complete. Never mind.
I hope I said that name right.
But yeah, like
Super Defense robots. Oh, there were a couple Super Defense robots.
This guy's just bad Panther Warrior.
Yeah, like it exists in a weird case, but it is part of the archetype, and obviously, like it does technically have synergy to summon Photon Dragon. You know, it is a 2K attacker, but it's definitely like one of those cards that as soon as you get some real shit, you're gonna ditch him. And you will see that a lot. Like I said, there's a wide variety of weird little guys, both at the front end. We're still in 2012, 2013 right now, Prime Zexal XC's era, and then you're gonna see a lot of that repeated in the late Link, early MR5 attribute, where I'm pretty sure some people have never heard of some of these cards that came out because they weren't paying attention. But I am going to tell you about a card you probably have actually heard of. This actually is played in the deck. It's Galaxy Knight. Galaxy Knight.
Yeah, here's like our one lanky guy, and he's a little too lanky. I'm not sure what's going on with his legs. They look broken.
Yeah, they're very skinny actually. And I want to say also, while this guy shows up in a couple of themed spell cards, also, guys, is it just me or does it look like he killed a Mech Lord and he's wearing it as a suit?
He's the Proto Mech Lord.
Actually, yeah, looking.
I mean Proto Mech Knight.
Looking at the breastplate and just seeing like what looks like would be the eyes of the Mech Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Also, hold on. What's up with his legs? Why does it look like he's got like a...
Yeah, Vesper was just talking about that. He's got real skinny backwards legs. I don't know. Can I get like... Let me open up the gallery. Can I get like a good... Is there
You
an anime
can't tell me that
screen
this guy
grab?
is not some discount Kamen Rider somewhere.
Okay, so here's the wild thing. This is a screenshot from the anime. One, you can see his entire Galaxy surfboard, which is shaped like a kite. It's very funny. Also, he has normal legs.
Surfer.
His legs are normal. What the fuck?
Yeah, so I didn't realize he was sailing on like a kite.
Yeah, no, he's got a
At
space
all.
surfboard that is kite-shaped. It's very cute.
Okay. Sorry, the person in chat explained why googly eyes would be
Yes,
brought up.
Loth, I know.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I see them. You are perceived. We will look at Galaxy at Google dumbass Google Dragon
Mega.
for a little bit
No, it's okay.
later. So you
I
guys
hope he
will stop
crucified-
asking me about it, even though he's not literally unplayable in this archetype.
Yes.
But Galaxy Knight is actually played in this archetype because he actually does some stuff. It's a level 8 light warrior. He's 2,800 attack, 2,600 defense.
Very
and he
interesting.
Says, yeah.
he's got his effect is wild.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So, if you control a photon or a galaxy monster, you can normal summon this without tributing. If this is summoned this way, target a galaxy-eyes photon dragon in your graveyard, if possible. Regardless, this card loses 1,000 attack. If it does, special summon the target, if any, in defense position. The attack decrease lasts until the end of this turn.
So many moronic parentheticals.
Yeah, I feel like there has to be a better way to phrase this. Basically, the way Galaxy Knight works is it's a Fusilier, a dual mode dragon, or a Beast King Barbaros. You can normal it without tributing if you control a photon or galaxy, and it loses 1,000 attack. But also, when normal summoned this way without tributing, you can target a Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position. No, it's been reprinted a couple of times. It was reprinted in fairly recent Legendary Duelist sets, actually. I personally think that this card has been outmoded because it still needs a normal. But for the time, this is great. If you have a Photon Dragon in your graveyard, a Galaxy Eyes, this just is a rank 8 if you can normal him. And getting Photon guys on the board is not hard. You literally, I don't remember how recent that card is, but there is a card that literally summons Photon tokens eventually. So, no, you have ways to get around this guy, but there are parentheticals on this. Said this is PCST.
It is problem-solving card text.
They just chose to wrote it in a very
card text.
They chose to wrote it in a very stupid way. What they should have said is, first of all, I don't know why they decided to make it conditional that you have to normal summon without tributing. That sucks. They should have just said if this card is normal summoned, you can target and summon a Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon, and should have just said if you control a Photon or Galaxy monster, you can normal summon without tributing. If summoned this way, it loses 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. It's a weird case where, because it has an extra conditional on its summoning of Galaxy Eyes, it makes the text more confusing. You probably could write this better. And if they did want to errata this so that it summons a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon just on normal summon in general, because you're not going to fucking normal summon tribute Galaxy Knight by sacrificing 2 monsters. It's crazy. You're never going to do that, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's a weird one. But definitely, in 2013 when this came out in the collection tin, it definitely was useful.
It's still at 1,800 body, which isn't bad.
Yeah, and it targets a guy, and it only lasts until the end of this turn, so it's only on your turn that it's 1,800.
Yeah.
That said, I think it says a lot that this card has only been printed as an Ultra and a Super, and according to the wiki, its a low TCG player price is 37 cents. This card has been printed 3 times and only as a foil. You can buy it for, 2 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not excessively out there. All right, but because people were insistent. Oh, did I copy link location, not copy image? You see what you make me do?
Voting works.
Don't encourage them, Loth. Anyway, laugh to yourself and say, look at this boy, Loth. Give the people what they want.
I love him so much. Yeah, look at this asshole.
I will say he's got a fucking face.
This guy really tickled Loth. That peaked. Loth, you may even find it even funnier that this guy's name in the OCG is Garbage Eyes Fat Dragon.
Yeah.
What? You're lying to me.
Garakutaizu Fato Dragon.
Seeing him blown up like this, all I can think of is just
no way.
Correct. This guy's name is Garbage Eyes Fat Dragon.
He's prepared to give you the meanest of hugs.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Garaku. Okay. Yeah. That's okay.
Another word.
Whisper's not happy about it.
It's Garaku. Garaku is like garbage. So it's Garaku Taizu as a play on Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's a little like extra phonetical tick to it, but it's still very much similar to what how Galaxy would be like pronounced.
And so you want to talk about, you know, like weird like rip-offs of whatchamacallit, like different you know, transforming and combining robots. So Googly Eyes Drum Dragon is actually tied to a completely different level 8 archetype of light machines, of which there are 3 members, and nobody has cared about them ever. It's the super defense robots, literal pack filler type cards in Judgment of the Light. But that's how you're supposed to summon this guy.
It's Crash Bugs 2, basically. Think of them like that.
Googly Eyes is a Earth machine, rank 8, with 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense. It requires 2 level 8 machine monsters, so it is machine locked. Once per turn, you can detach an Xyz material. It gains 1,000 attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. If it's destroyable, it has materials. Banish super defense robot. Special summon this. Attach super defense robot. So Drum Dragon is supposed to be played in super defense robot. It's a deck that has like 3 cards in it. It's not really gone anywhere. And while he is eminently funny, and yes, Orbital 7 did play that deck, it hasn't really come up ever. He's just a weird little guy.
Yeah, like he just exists just like somebody in the writing room came up with this joke. So they said, okay, how do we put that in the show? And they went, oh, like his little robot guy, he plays it. Eh. And that was it.
And now it's time to go back to our regularly scheduled program of who the fuck is this guy? Behold, Galaxy Mirror Sage.
Oh, a level 3 monster.
Which actually has synergy later. It's funny, but we'll talk about that in the link era.
Funny how
actually.
it goes.
Yeah, this is Galaxy Mirror Sage. He is currently A-posing at me and telling me to look at his mirror, which is currently blinding me from seeing his pinchable waist. That's it.
Hey,
that's all I got.
Do you want to know why I never heard of this card, Axe? It's a flip monster.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, also,
Most
I should bring up. We
most
mentioned
mirror
before,
cards are like that. Honestly, it's weird.
I should bring this up as well. We talked about kind of like that the big guys are, Light Dragon 8s with the blue eye stat line. Galaxy is one of those archetypes that's all over the place type-wise. Almost all of them are lights. You usually leave the darks for like the Tachyon side of things, though there are a couple that are more dark as well. But the typing is all over the place. The big guys are usually dragons, but there are plenty of spellcasters and warriors in here, and even a couple machines. I think there may even be some weird guys. Also, yes, this guy really likes Mobile Suit Gundam. He designed his hat to look like a Zaku. But yeah, no. I mean, like, there's cool elements to this. Like, the swirl is cool. The pattern on the inside of his cloak is really cool. But otherwise, this guy is just kind of a nothing burger. He's got oven mitts on, Like, it's so weird.
Like, it's very much just a general like space sci-fi aesthetic where we're just kind of grabbing whatever we want.
Yeah,
kind of works together. Like nothing feels offensive about it.
So, Mirror Sage is a light spellcaster, level 3, as you mentioned, 0 attack, 800 defense, flip. Gain 500 LP for each Galaxy monster in your graveyard. This presumably matters a lot more when you're playing an anime duel and only have 4k life points normally. When this card is destroyed and sent from the field to the graveyard after being flipped face up, so immediately after proccing your flip effect, special summon a level 4 or lower Galaxy monster from your deck or graveyard in face down defense position. Banish it when it leaves the field. So, Mirror Sage loops for Mirror Sage, but then for some ungodly reason, it banishes that guy. This is literally shittier than, like, original generation flip monsters. You can't Spearcrete and loop with this. So, yeah, this is why you've never heard of it. This is a weird anime one-off card to do weird anime one-off things. It doesn't have a great place in the deck. It's just very funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like this is just one of the.
This happens when we
It's
talk about
always
anime
funny.
decks. You know, you sometimes you look
Yeah,
at a card
like-
and you just go like, what the what? Huh? What? Why is this guy here?
This card was made for one duel and never showed up again. It's like a Super Heavy Samurai. Super Heavy Samurai have like a billion random ass cards that Gungenzuka played in like for 2 seconds when he was on screen, and then he died.
And now everybody get ready for a vanilla monster. This is Galaxy Serpent.
This card I am very familiar with.
So, funnily enough, first of all, not a lot to say about it, but I really like this art. Like, it's got a very strong like painting vibe. It looks almost nothing like the other cards in this archetype.
Yeah, this card is definitely not at all meant to have any real connection to the Galaxy archetype. It's just a cool little guy.
Yeah, but he is called Galaxy and was released in that era. It was printed in Judgment of the Light. But it's actually, first of all, it's a vanilla and it's a tuna. Which does give you some options. Also, the constellation that is making up this card's body, which is why it's called Serpent, is the constellation of Hydra. So it is literally a space snake. No, Zed, it's part of the archetype. It's called Galaxy Serpento. So that means that cards like Galaxy Soldier, which require you to control a galaxy monster, this does work. So this is a card that is name-checked in the archetype and thematically is connected. Its flavor text reads, "Your hopes and dreams will be refreshed if you catch a glimpse of this rare creature in the evening twilight, soaring in the sea of stars." So it is related to space. It just doesn't really have any direct application with the rest of the galaxy monsters. That said, I would put this in a galaxy deck over Mirror Sage at this point. This guy is a tuner?
Yeah, like
He's a dragon?
There's a
there,
few
there,
other
there
cards
aren't really
wouldn't
any
bother
other
me.
great, like there aren't any other too many amazing level 3 or lower cards that
Yeah.
that would matter for a card we'll get to in a short while.
Yeah.
But Galaxy Serpent is just a funny card to me specifically because there was a time when I played when the card was at the time meta defining, an Exodia Quasar deck built around using a bunch of normal baby assholes themed around cards like Brywhite and Enchanted Fitting Room.
And this is a
Very
level 2
stupid.
normal guy, yeah. It's a light
Yep.
dragon tuner, by the way. 1,000 attack, 0 defense. I believe, actually,
Yeah,
is 1,000 attack
it
also the
was
cutoff
just
for cards of
playing-
consonants?
Yes.
I don't know cards of consonants. From what I remember,
1,000 or
it was Brywhite,
Okay.
Enchanted Fitting Room, a White Elephant Bone,
You probably
I
wouldn't
think there was
specifically
another
run
one.
cards of consonants
Silent Doom.
in that deck style, but no, it is cards of consonants X is correct. It's 1,000 or less dragon tuner.
Yeah,
so
I also just pulled it up.
yeah, I know it's just a funny little guy.
He looks just like a tiny lizard with wings. I don't see dragon, I see tiny lizard. Oh wait, he's serpent, yeah, but
Yeah, like the 1,000 attack was definitely intended for cards of consonants. I feel.
Yeah. Like
But,
it's a weird card that like is only technically part of the Galaxy archetype, but has enough stuff on it that it's probably going to see some, you can see some fringe play. It's a normal, it's a tuner,
Yeah,
it's a dragon.
Galaxy Serpent is part of the archetype in the same way that Phantom of Chaos is a Phantom Knights card.
Yeah. Let's switch back though to a card who is in the archetype and once again reminds you of how the fact that this archetype is indeed absolutely all over the place for no real reason. It's Galaxy Tyranno. Space Dino.
I think that would just be cool, but it is like it has to be like large, I guess.
I mean,
remember the previous.
you say, is it not like Galaxy Destroyer or Galaxy Queen? Yeah, but those also ended up in this video because those are Galaxy monsters.
Yeah,
And also, those guys are even Xyz. But Tyranno here.
It all comes down to the naming scheme in the Japanese, and even though they may not be part of the archetype proper, their names still have what the game refers to as the Galaxy archetype. So they are
I feel
part
like
of the
I'm being
archetype.
trolled, but I guess
even
I'm
if
not.
they're not archetypal card.
Yeah,
It's
you would not
bizarre.
normally play them in a Galaxy deck, but strictly speaking, for purposes of interacting with Galaxy cards, they count. This guy has another Galaxy effect that name checks just the phrase Galaxy. So, this is Tyranno. Which particular part are you feeling like you're being punked right now, Axe?
Everything involving the first few cards we did. 'Cause it feels like it's like, because I was intending to mean like the Galaxy Photon cards, not specifically like every Galaxy card ever, but
Well, then you should have phrased it as Galaxy Eyes or Photon. I think I asked you, do you want to do Galaxy or Photon?
only has 6 cards. There's only 6 Galaxy Eyes cards.
That is definitely not correct.
Well, most of them are like not got Galaxy Eyes. It's usually Galaxy.
No,
or something else.
Axe, I'm reasonably certain I made this list. I'm pretty sure there's more than 6 Galaxy
there are
Eyes.
38 cards that name check Galaxy Eyes.
Sorry, what was that, Vesper? You
broke
broke
up
up a little.
Looking on Edo Pro, Galaxy Eyes, it brings up 38 cards, and there are at least like 5 or 6 different main deck cards, and a bunch of fucking Xyz monsters.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of Galaxy Eyes.
Okay, fair enough. But I was thinking
But like it's and the reason why
Knight and,
Queen
Soldier
and
like-
Destroyer came up first is because, funnily enough, those were printed first. Like I said, Galaxy as a sub theme to summoning Photon Dragon took a couple years to come together. Like Queen was released at the same time as Photon Dragon, but as you can see, it took a while for Konami to really lock in. Like, oh wait, monsters called Galaxy, got it. So yeah, and like we said before, Tyranno is one of those cards. I clearly, because nobody's brought it up, nobody has anything to say about how this guy looks. We just want to ignore him.
Yeah.
It's just like weirdly
He's
dramatic.
Look, he's a dinosaur. We got everyone else got their fill of dinosaurs while I was gone. I already had my fill.
Yeah.
This guy he's just a dinosaur.
He's a light
I don't know
level
what
8
to say.
dinosaur, in fact. He has 2,000 attack and 0 defense. Once again, Konami just being like, it's the Xyz era. Levels and stats don't matter. Tyranno says when a Galaxy monster is targeted for an attack, especially summon this card from your hand in defense position, when summoned this way, immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz a Galaxy Xyz monster only using Galaxy monsters you control. So,
Neat effect.
yeah, it's cute.
Probably,
Omega, this is probably what you guys are gonna have to fight in Aaron's campaign later on.
Maybe.
It's dinosaurs from the future.
But yeah,
like
Sky.
it's a cute little battle trick. It's probably fine. Like you probably play it as like a shenanigan.
I mean,
but,
it's
you
when
probably
you're
also,
targeted for
like-
an attack, it. I would say at the very least put it in your side deck because it gives you something to do when in game 2 your opponent says, "Okay, good luck, have fun. You're going first." You might as well sideboard it in so you can have a couple in your hand because, yes, your opponent's gonna make you go first. And I don't like your only options when you do that are like Hope Humdinger, who also, by the way, is in this list. Honestly, actually, there's a few different level 8s. It really, once again, depends on what your ratios are like and what you have in your extra. It's one of those weird ones. But yeah, Tyranno could absolutely make the cut.
Let me double read Tyranno. Do you have to? Okay, you don't have to use Tyranno.
No.
So it does give it more flexibility, but it's still having to be Galaxy monsters doesn't. Because I don't know,
There's a decent amount of hybrid cards though these days. It's a weird one, but it's something you want to keep your eye on. Once again, speaking of funny tech cards that actually did see some play, also next up, Galaxy Wizard. Galaxy Wizard.
Oh yeah, I remember this fucko.
Yes, I'm assuming that
this
unlike Mirror
asshole.
Sage, this is supposed to be a lady because we've got like the different hip waist ratio.
You can
Also,
you
too,
can
with the,
you can see the
Zaku eye
vague-
under the hood.
yeah. You can see the vague curvature,
Yeah,
like the hint.
but also she's got a
Galaxy
funny hat on.
fanboy.
But yeah, I don't really have a lot else to add to this art aesthetic. You know, she's in a space spiral.
To be fair, before I saw this blown up, I always thought they were just a weird, like, acorn-shaped person.
No, it's a
Like,
big.
I
It's a
didn't
big
know
cape.
there was the inner, like, body. I thought it was literally they're just around.
No, I could totally see that. Yeah. It's just some sort of floating space armor. But Galaxy Wizard is, like Tyranno, actually a card you would play. You know, she's a level 4 light spellcaster, 0 attack, 1800 defense. Once per turn, soft once per turn, you can increase this card's level by 4 until the end of this turn. Also, you contribute this card, add a Galaxy card from your deck to your hand, except Galaxy Wizard. Once again, this is why, you know, stuff like Serpent got mentioned. It's a search target. It's part of the grouping. It was printed during the time period. But yeah, Galaxy Wizard is a level 4 that can make itself a level 8. Actually, like a decent flexible slot card because your deck runs on 4s and 8s usually. So it's, you know, a decent selection. Oh, and actually, hold on, where is... When was the big Chungus? Okay, yeah, be in this time period. So let me make sure my alphabeticals are here. Yeah, this one should come first. Sorry, I accidentally had Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon out of place in my list. I was like, hold on, he should be coming up. Where the fuck is he?
He's just been moved to the final bit.
No, he accidentally got scooched down one. But yeah, while there are a large number of numbers, funnily enough, in Galaxy and Galaxy Eyes, they did not start that way. I think they're first from Galactic Overlord, because that's like, 2012, still fairly early in the Xyz, is this guy, Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. So this is the King Ghidorah version of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. He's got extra heads, which have funny looks. His arms are enormous. Look at how fucking huge they are.
I've never
His
thought about how
arms-
huge those are.
He's just very angry.
I don't know like what the magenta or like hot pink flavor of Mountain Dew is off the top
Wait
of
a
my
second.
head, or like Monster Energy. He is
I-
you're thinking
sipping
of Code
too
Red.
much of it.
I
Sorry,
think it's
hold
meant
on. I also just realized, are those extra heads just the tips of his wings?
Yeah, kind of.
Yes.
They're coming out of his shoulders, and they have his wing.
because
his
it's
wing
meant to be
blades.
literally 3 Galaxy Photon Dragons put together, so they've basically gone red photon color.
Yeah, that is the big thing about Photon Dragon. I want to say that like this is the first real occurrence in the anime where like a character is actively playing like multiple copies of a card, and like it's called out as he's playing multiple copies.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing where it's like actually like it's a weird thing to say this, but like I think Kaito being around is actually a thing where characters in the show actually talk about consistency at some point of their decks.
I feel like the Zexal would be the era where he actually did start like in the anime we started caring about that. 5Ds was still pretty weird in its place. Also, obviously, this is meant to be the equivalent stand-in for Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. You'll see that especially when we talk about the stat line in a second. But yeah, his like super hot pink color is like, I'm not against it. It's just very funny. I know Axe said like, oh, it's like the red photon energy, and I'm like, so it's worse.
This guy just makes me think
Like,
he's cotton candy
Red
flavored.
shifting is very funny, and y'all know me. I'm all about the chromatic superiority of red. Red light is
No.
lower energy.
I think it's also meant to be more volatile, but in this case, yeah.
I mean, I will say that like leaning towards saying like magenta or hot pink, like that very bright like pinkish red, that is interesting because that's not a very natural color. Like the amount of things that produce a color like that in nature are very slim, so that definitely would make it seem like super overloaded.
It's also a thing of I always remembered Galaxy Photon Dragon always has like small parts of red in it.
Well, yeah, it's got like a little like the tail spike actually you can see in this that have like the little, again I would say magenta, on the pinkish red. The anime screenshot that Martha's posted makes it look a lot more normal red, but still got some pinks in there.
doesn't look flattering either.
Well, Zexel is when we switch to 3D models, and I can see why this guy would be weird to 3D model because of his big chungus arms. It definitely makes
not
his
only
heads look
arms,
much
his-
more like wings, though.
Like his fucking his thighs too. Like his legs are also warded up and taking up his crotch is taking up way too much of the art. I'll just
I
say
mean,
that.
like Axe said, I am pretty sure this is definitely supposed to be explicitly we put 3 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons in a trench coat, which is why
Put them
he is
together,
just
and now
so
we're going to murder
beefy.
you. We're now going to be murdered because you don't have enough life points.
He's so big. So this is
Like,
a
I'm staring-
level or rank 8 Dragon Light Exceeds. Go ahead, Love.
I'm staring at him and I'm half expecting to see his thighs start to spin as he just like wheels away from me.
Yeah. It's a rank 8, 4,500 attack, 4,500, 3,000 defense. So yes, once again, Bloy's ultimate stats. 3 level 8 monsters, exactly 3, though they are generic. If this card is exceeds summoned using Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as any of its materials, negate all the effects of other face-up cards on the field. Once per turn, detach 1 material from this card. Detach all materials from monsters your opponent controls. This card gains 500 attack for each and can attack that many times during the battle phase each turn. This card is a motherfucker for when it came out. If you're making it in archetype, you are looking at a board-wide negate. If your opponent is dumb enough to make Xyz monsters, you are going to eat all of their materials, gain 500 attack, and also gain extra attacks. The game is over.
Yeah. Especially in the anime, when playing Xyz monsters was required, Neo Galaxy Eyes is just an I win button.
Yeah. The primary thing
Actually, if
keeping
your
it
opponent
back...
only has at most 2,500. So, like, you're gonna usually do 2K immediately.
Yeah, no. Like you're at least doing 2K. All your opponent's effects are negated. And also, if they're playing an Xyz deck where they only stack into like 1 or 2 Xyz monsters, well, usually you need at least 2 mats. So depending on what they have, you could get up to 3 or 4 attacks per turn. They don't have that many monsters. So, it's very spicy. The primary problem why I don't think this ever became a strong meta staple is it is a 3-mat. I do think its effect is worth making a 3-mat. This is, in the era it came out anyway, basically guaranteed to be a game ender. The problem is that you have to stick 3 level 8s on the board in the year 2012. At least one of which is
was
hopefully
hard.
Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Yes, I know it was hard, Axe. You tried really hard to make this work in Prague, and it was tough.
I
Well,
wanted
yeah,
to
and
because it was cool.
like the other part of the fact is like, while if you can just get 3 generic 8s, this card still is a brick shit house. Getting the Dark Ruler No More effect really make sure this card will end the game.
Yeah, the thing that... I'm sorry, I was just gonna talk about Prague, don't worry. Ignore me.
I mean, you can mention it. It's fine.
I'm
I'll be
more
working on pulling up the next
looking
card.
forward to, if we ever talk about it, that one card we had to immediately ban as soon as possible, that one Xyz. Was it Dark Matter?
Yeah.
Just one of the Galaxy Eyes Xyz monsters that Axe kicked our shit in repeatedly, and we're like, that has to go!
He's a really strong card. He came up in a couple decks. Also, fun fact, Galaxy has a couple of cards.
I only got to play it 1 or 2 times at all.
And that was enough!
I mean, the card's
for
banned
one
in
week.
real life. There's
Yeah,
a
one
reason
time.
for it. Speaking of cards that are banned in real life, at least if you're in the TCG and not playing Master Duel, this is also the era, in the actual Xyz era, that there are several Galaxy number monsters, starting with, alphabetically anyway, number 42, Galaxy Tomahawk, which was actually, by the
hey,
way,
guys.
numbers 42 Starship Galaxy Tomahawk in the original OCG. This guy's very
guy,
weird.
He's
Technically-
totally fine. Like what can you do with this guy? He does nothing. He
does
do anything.
everything, supposedly, most people think. But
I mean, he
honestly,
does do everything. Like, it's a card that wasn't
it's
good until
all-
the Xyz era.
I think
or
it's
the
only
Link
called
era.
Galaxy because it literally is a spaceship.
Yeah, it's called Starship Galaxy Tomahawk. It's another weird one where, like, again, I feel like when they were doing the anime, the anime team did not necessarily have, like, a strong, suggestion of it. This was summoned by another rando. His name is in the because it's from the manga originally. His name is Evoluder. So yeah, that's weird. And he played like weird. Basically, he played wind machines that were Mecha Phantom Beasts without being Mecha Phantom Beasts. They had the ability to adjust levels and stuff to make 7. And there's a reason why Galaxy Tomahawk is a staple in Mecha Phantom Beast decks.
If
Yeah,
I
so
may,
for the people who have not been scarred by this card, this is a wind machine.
Generic
I don't
Xyz,
know why.
it's 7. It's a wind machine. I think it's because the other machines that the cards the guy used in the manga were wind machines as well. It's a 7, so it's the same requirements as Dracosac. 0 attack, 3,000 defense.
Real quick, while we're still on the topic of the guy who played Galaxy Tomahawk, his name is just Evil Invader.
Yeah.
Evil Looter is just a bastardized portmanteau of Evil and Invader. We're not even trying with
Evil
this.
later.
Yeah. They also did it badly because they put a U in there, so it's like I joked earlier, it's Evoluder. Evolude.
Yeah.
It's
Why
like
does-
Evoluder.
Yeah, it's
why
a weird
does the
one.
ship have a tail?
Because space tail.
It's like a manta ray.
Yeah. Once again, this is like, I know we're putting it in Galaxy because this is a Galaxy Xyz monster, and I'm sure that there are cards that proc off this, but you're probably not making it in Galaxy because it's a rank 7. That said, this is a very funny guy, being a secret Mecha Phantom Beast. This says, once per turn, detach 2 Xyz materials from this card. Special summon as many Baby Eagle tokens, which are wind machines, level 6, 2,000 attack.
Is Battle Eagle or?
Yeah, Battle Eagle tokens. I may have said Baby Eagle. Listen, I'm illin'. I want to play Resident Evil 4. No.
Look,
I would not
we're-
mind it, but
we're
not right
in
now.
the goop.
Yeah. As possible, destroy them during the end phase of this turn. Your opponent takes no further battle damage this turn. So this card, I don't think anybody gave a shit about until the Link era. In the Link era, this card becomes, hey, what if you had 6 material?
Yeah, what if you turn 2 level 7s into 6 material?
Keep in
So-
mind, it only says no further battle damage, by the way. Effect damage still
So
on the table.
I have a very important question.
Yeah.
How much would Yu-Gi-Oh have been different if they just eroded early on that you cannot use tokens for links?
I mean, that
I
would
mean,
kill a
that-
lot of good cards in the support, like one-time passcode and shit. I think it's just that, like, probably we should have kept more of our, like, Link 4,
More restrictions on cards.
big bonks that are, like, 2+ monsters, right? That are not actually format. Probably should have been, like, 2+ effect monsters. But, yeah.
I think in the end, like they always intended for tokens to have a place for link summoning, because tokens didn't really do shit before.
Yeah, the problem is that there were a lot of, because tokens didn't do anything before, there were a lot of cards that were like Scapegoat, like Galaxy Tomahawk, that were like summon a shitload of tokens, right?
Grinder Golem
Yeah,
is another big one. A Grinder Golem by itself was a firewall.
yeah. The problem is that not enough of those big 4s actually, like, most of them just said like 2+ monsters or something, which was probably
Yeah.
our problem. We made the originals too generic. And it's funny, like I said, I understand that we play the game differently. I'm not actually sure why Galaxy Tomahawk is still banned. Like, Firewall's been eroded. It's unlimited in the OCG and in a Master Duel, and I don't think anybody can actually, like, make it work.
I think it's just
Pretty sure
just
Hulk
that
is dead and gone as well.
I still think they could have eroded Hulk, but I think it part of it is just to do with they just stuff sometimes on there to remind people not to do it anymore, or just so they don't have it happen anymore. It's kind of why
I think
Malicious
Galaxy
didn't get off of this
Tomahawk-
until like now.
I think Galaxy Tomahawk is currently still staying on the ban list because we are in the process of unlimiting Mini, a level 7 wind monster still.
That's true. Also, actually, I will say, I actually do believe Mali could only go to 3 because they banned Isolde. They probably could have put it to 3 like right away when they banned Isolde, not the next list, but I'm reasonably certain you can only put Mali back to 3 because you do not have access to the Isolde engine and can't make that Dark Warrior deck work.
I still think Isolde should have, again, like, I think Isolde and Hawk both should have been cards that were locked to their archetype to make the archetype decent, or make other people have to
I mean,
play
yeah,
cards
there's a
archetype
reasonable
in their
argument
decks.
for it. I think Konami was genuinely like, hey, let's they were trying to create generic support in the link. They weren't just trying to look out for Noble Knights. If Isolde required a Noble Knight monster, I mean, honestly, with the way Infernoble Knight is worded, she probably still would have had to go when they came out with those guys. But like before that, she wouldn't have done anything. Same with Hulk. Hulk would have been dead on arrival. And it's there is, I think, a reasonable excuse. Like, I don't always agree with MBT when he says this. I think, though, there is a reasonable question to ask, like, why is Konami asking you to buy this product, right? If Isolde and Hulk were locked to their actual origin archetypes, why would you want to buy them? It would be purely if you were a diehard for Noble Knights or Christrons, which, Axe, I do know you are. You like those guys. God knows, I think you tried to make Noble Knights work a couple of times, along with some other people in our prog setup.
I tried both those archetypes because I both liked them inherently.
Yeah.
I will say, even if, like you said, even if Isolde was like required a Noble Knight card, Isolde still would have become a problem. Like
Yes.
It's one of those cards that, while yes, mini decks played it as just a quick little package, with your Aqua Dolphin and all that bullshit. It still accomplishes a ton, and people would have just played an Infernoble package.
Probably would have made it work.
If it was locked into needing a Noble Knight card.
Thing where they were gonna ban all the Noble Knights then instead of Isolde. That would have been
No,
hilarious.
I wouldn't do that. That actually I do think is like, I think Isolde even then would have eaten a ban herself. It's so funny to me that Hulk being generic to tuners is they tried to get rid of problem tuners, and I will still say to this day, Jet Synchron probably should have stayed dead. You see it used as such a crazy extender in Snake Eyes now because it's a level 1 fire. Like, actually, no, I think Jet Synchron may have been a problem, period. Hulk is also a problem because the Hulk lines are fucking crazy and they work with any tuner. But, like, genuinely, actually, I think Jet Synchron may still be maybe a card that is going to continue to be a pain in the ass for years to come if it doesn't go on the list. But yeah, I'm actually thinking about it. Snake Eyes is probably why Tomahawk can't come back right now, because it's generic 7s, and guess what? Diabell Star exists. Is Flamberge Dragon an 8 or a 7 also, chat? I think they've got access to some other 7s as well, which then they could use that to make infinite tokens turn 1 and just make a big fucking Apo.
Flamberge is an 8, but yeah, it's the nature of Tomahawk being banned right now is just that it's the TCG. The TCG understands that we can't be trusted with some cards sometimes, you know? We shouldn't be trusted.
So now let's talk about another actual Galaxy Eyes guy. This is number 107. Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. And he does have an alt art. I will try and grab that.
Yay. This one actually looks good in my opinion.
Yeah, I was going to say that. This is also actually, like, talking about looking good. It's a primo design.
Wait a second. Looking a bit like a Zone of the Enders like mech over here.
Oh,
In a
no,
good
yeah,
way.
this is like an orbital frame, and that's okay.
It's even got the cockpit. It's even got the
Yeah.
cockpit.
You said that 3 times.
I know, because I fucked it up the first 2
He
times.
tried to figure out how to put the emphasis on cockpit right. It didn't work. But here is the alt art also, which is neat.
I thought I said cockpiece the first time.
I don't think you actually said it the first time.
Okay.
It's neat. I prefer the first one.
Yeah, no, I think the alt art is cool, and it does show the little little overlay
If you
units.
downsize it looks not as great.
Well, that the plus-sized version is a mock-up somebody did on DeviantArt, so it always looks better than the actual card art. But yeah, no, Tachyon Dragon is way cooler. This is a dragon that is also a spaceship. it keeps the aesthetics, but obviously like has a much darker color scheme, but actually is like straight up red Tron lines. You know, still a little bit of that hot pink look, but it's
Like-
black and purple. It's a real good look.
If you had told me this is just Galaxy Tomahawk like transformed, I would believe you.
Yeah, that's the funny part is
I can
Galaxy
kinda see it. I
Tomahawk's
can kinda
not
see it,
related to
yeah.
this archetype at all, but it looks like it belongs here, right? It's weird. Maybe somebody had some concept art they weren't using.
It's more of like literally like a fusion between like Photon Dragon and Tomahawk.
Yeah. So this is number 107. This is a light dragon Ixi. It's rank 8, 3,000 attack, 2,500 attack. It is completely generic, 2 8s. So this card is much more popular than Neo Galaxy Eyes because he is a shitload easier to make. Also, yeah, no. This is used by what's their face? Mizar, who I believe used several other of the Tachyon like monsters, so there's like some overlap there. But it's firmly part of the archetype now, which is very funny. Also interesting, by the way the name is translated, they add the phonetic for tachyon, but the like kanji they use for the meaning just means space-time. It's very interesting there, where they like specify it that way. But its name is it would be read out loud in the OCG as Numbers Hyakunana Galaxy Aizu Tachyon Dragon. So what Tachyon Dragon here does is it's 2 level 8s, like I said. Once per battle phase, at the start of your battle phase, detach one material from this card, negate the effects of all their face-up monsters, and their attack defense become their original attack and defense. During the battle phase, if you activated this effect this turn, each time an opponent's effect resolves, this card gains 1,000 attack until the end of the battle phase and can make a second attack this turn, during each battle phase this turn. So yeah, honestly, Tachyon Dragon is much more a counter to Galaxy Eyes. At the start of the battle phase, detach one, negate all of their cards. If your opponent still activates shit, like they have spell traps face down or something, or they activate flip monsters or whatever, they activate graveyard effects, you know, it gets attack and gets gains attack, I should say, and can make a second attack. Yeah, no, this is a card that is still part of the Ungus Bungus strategy, but is much more in line, you know, with like that actual play. Its effect to negate everything at the start of the battle phase is like Neo Galaxy Eyes, but way easier to do.
It's interesting that this card is checked as being part of the Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon archetype.
Because there are a couple different iterations of that, yes. It's very wild.
Yeah, like how many Galaxy Eyes Xyz monsters are there? Too many?
There's too
many.
Believe 12 or 13.
There's several iterations of Tachyon Dragon, including its Chaos version we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah. Too many.
But yeah, this is a card that's much more put together, and because it's generic 8, has basically seen play, I think, in almost every 8 deck. If you can play rank 8s, you probably consider playing Tachyon.
Like that effect alone, no matter what rank 8, level 8 deck you're playing, is good.
And also, remember how I said that Neo Galaxy Eyes was kind of like King Ghidorah? Meet the King Ghidorah. This is Chaos
King Ghidorah.
Numbers 107 Neo Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon.
This is the most King Ghidorah.
So this follows a long trend of Chaos Numbers being even more over the top than their regular forms.
I mean, they're meant to be like for forbidden power and shit like
yeah,
that.
but like we are so golden.
Welcome to alternate unfurling version of Raw Sphere mode, I guess.
I was more thinking of like, what's the version where the mech's gold? Is that G Gundam? I forget, but it feels like that, where it's like that kind of because it's also like, you know,
Wait a
whatever the
second.
whole thing when you get the golden aura thing.
I could totally just believe this is a separate form of Unicron.
Could be.
I could also buy that.
I will say there are parts of this that I am a little like, unsure of. I don't like. Is he supposed to look like kind of a U-shaped space barge that also has 3 dragon heads coming out of it? Are his legs made of like 6 sections? I don't really necessarily understand what this guy is supposed to look like in motion.
Are his
I
legs meant to
don't
be
think- I don't-
hangers for funnels?
I'm gonna look up.
Because he's got
a video.
he's got like little spaceship bridges on his arm legs.
Guys, as I figured it out, it's Mecha Planet Destroyer Emperor Ghidorah.
Yeah, it's if we ever got Space King Ghidorah, we went up a level. Yeah, no, it's pretty wild. So this is a rank 9 Xyz, because most of the Chaos numbers are 1 number rank higher. 4,500, 3K, so, like Neo Galaxy Eyes. Normally, you could make this with any 3 level 9 monsters, but don't worry, that's what rank up magics are for. That's why the Dawn Thousand invented the rank up magic. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card. To the end of this turn, negate the effect of all your face-up cards on the field, and your opponent can't activate effects or cards on the field. If this card has number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon as material, gains the following effect. You can tribute 2 monsters. This card can make up to 3 attacks on monsters during the battle phase this turn. This is another one of those cards that's like, this is supposed to be game-ending, and absolutely detach for Dark Ruler. Oh, and also your opponent can't activate cards or effects on the field, so that means that all of their spell traps that are face down are fucked. It's so over the top. The effect for like ranking up from Tachyon is cool. Probably don't want to count on that because that means you had to have made a Tachyon Dragon. You have to have ranked up into Neo Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, and then you need to have 2 guys left over to sacrifice so it can triple attack. But if you can pull it off, once again, the game is over.
So, I was looking at his necks and his heads, and I knew it reminded me of something. 'Cause I didn't want to say it out loud that he reminds me of a Digimon, but he reminds me of just 3 of these assholes put together.
He reminds you of a Digimon. Yep.
Yep.
That's fine.
For those who aren't aware, he reminds me of Arastrodramon.
Oh, I don't actually know that one.
I believe that's... I don't know which one it is either. I know it's a main character one.
Okay,
Certainly,
so I've done some looking, I've done some searching, I've done some watching. The trivia page says this is like 5 different things. I don't know what the fuck to believe.
R.I.P.
Trivia page. This bears resemblance to the Phoenix mode of the Winged Dragon of Ra, but it could also be a Cyber End Dragon.
It could be a lot of things.
I mean, with
We've
3 heads,
combined all-
with three heads. Also, I like how they're like it's like Cyber End Dragon. It's got 3 heads. It's Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and it's 4,500.
No, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon.
This is a different rival.
This is a different 3. This is the other 3-headed dragon.
Of course.
But the summoning animation appears to be that it is a golden version of the thing that is on the Galaxy Eyes counter trap card. Like the big pendulum style
Oh, the
shape
Tachyon
thing.
Transmigration? Okay.
Yeah.
So that,
it's a gold version of that like it unfolds out into somehow. Like the animation of it, you don't see all of it. You just see it unfold, and then the 3 heads pop out, and then it's down. It's 107. And you're like, oh, okay, sure. We don't see where all the bits and bobs come from. We just see the 3 heads pop out, and then it's there.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yeah,
if
it's
my microphone is somehow picking up my typing.
Let me link the video. It's like a minute long if other people want to watch it real quick. It happens like halfway through, but yeah, like you can see on the thumbnail, like the giant pendulum style
Yeah.
shape.
So it's like a big, pendulum or pyramidal shape, and then it unfolds into this guy.
Yeah.
That's still pretty crazy. And there's one more guy in this era we're going to talk about. Technically, he came out a little before, but, we're being alphabetical. This is Star Liege Lord Galaxion, or Radiant Light Emperor Galaxion. Now, this is not technically a galaxy monster, though Kite does actually use him in the anime. However, this is a rank 4 that explicitly lets you summon galaxy-eyes photon dragons, so it's a galaxy monster.
Yep.
And boy howdy, are we back on our Space Heroes shit.
Welcome back to Kamen Rider.
Just a
You can
hero
tell that
card.
he's kind of related to Galaxy Knight,
That's
even
it.
though you can't summon this card with Galaxy Knight because he's got the weird, Mech Lord masks on his chest still.
I think
However,
it's
he has
meant
been
to
hit in the
one
gym.
side.
It is Galaxy Knight went through his mid-season upgrade.
The hat's very extra, but honestly, I like it. Like, he's got a lot of extra spikes, but it's pretty fun. His space swords are okay.
Yeah, I like his space swords.
He's got
Yeah, like I don't know. The fact that there's a blade that is surrounded by light just looks lame to me.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if it's supposed to be at the center and then which I think it is because there's shading, but it's drawn kind of weird. Is it supposed to be just the edge? Is it supposed to be all around it? I think they could have done the concept a little better, but it's all right for what it is. His feet are no longer.
It doesn't help that he has wings behind him, and it doesn't look like some of them have the same light shading, but some of them don't.
Yeah, his shoulder
So it's
wings
just hard to parse everything happening.
don't, but his his mid back and his lower back wings do probably. It is a little odd. It's one of those cards where he's got a lot going on. So Star Liege Lord Galaxion is a rank 4 light warrior. Exceeds 2,000 attack, 2,100 defense. Specifically, though, it does require 2 level 4 photon monsters, so he is not a photon monster, but does require them, which is a little awkward, but still very doable. Once per turn, you can detach 1 or 2 Exceed materials from this card. Apply this effect based on the number you detached. 1. Special summon a Galaxy's Photon Dragon from your hand. 2. Special summon a Galaxy's Photon Dragon from your deck. It's a pretty solid effect. A little finicky to make, though, obviously, as we keep going on in time, the amount of time it takes to actually do some of these gets shorter and shorter. But yeah. He's a guy. Kind of continuing our general waves of support, though. We start to move into the 2015-ish and beyond era. So cards that are technically from the Pendulum era, though I believe some of these were printed as kind of like a last wave of support for Xyz era archetypes as well. Konami tends to do that a lot. You'll see it, where in the first couple of sets, even after we've switched Master Rules, you'll still see a lot of support for older themes. First one of these we're going to look at is Galaxy Soldier. This is another card you've probably seen.
There is a Link monster for Galaxy, is there not?
Yeah. There's a couple, actually, technically, of Link monsters that have Galaxy in their name. That's obviously a little later.
Yeah,
We're still in 2015.
Galaxy Soldier.
Really important.
I am fine with how he looks, but his art style does not vibe with anything else we've seen so far today.
It's way more cartoonish.
I did not know this is what he looked like close up.
Also, I want to bring this up. I'm pretty sure, unless the wiki is wrong, I don't think this card has actually been in the anime or manga. It was introduced in World Superstars, which was full of a lot of the Zexal era support cards.
Yeah, we just saw World
Maybe that's
Superstar
it.
card. I do
Maybe that's why.
recall World Superstars is it's a very weird set, honestly.
Yeah.
I remember playing when it came out, and it was well known for the Star Seraph cards that everybody thought were gonna be broken, and everyone coped on them for like 2 months, before everyone realized they sucked ass.
Yeah, so it printed cards that were cut from the TCG versions of Legacy of the Valiant, Primal Origin, Duelist Alliance, and New Challenger. So like I said, it's literally a set that bridges like the last couple sets in Zexal and the first couple sets in Arc V.
Yeah,
so
like off the top of my head, it was a lot of random battle and boxer support that just got skipped, and one very infamous card, the Rongo Bongo.
Yeah,
I believe
there was a couple of heroics in there, including Thousand Blades Assault, 1,000 Blades from like Clown Blade shit, but also Rongo Bongo.
Yeah.
A couple of the big Star Seraphs, a couple of Gagagas, also just, weird aside stuff. They talked about printing prize cards that hadn't been, so that's like, Legendary Dragon of White, Legendary Magician of Dark. Also, I believe this is the first appearance of Elemental Hero Blaze Man for no good reason.
Yeah, he was just there.
Yeah. So, like, a few of these funny little cards in there. There's a couple of Heraldics as well. Amphisbaena, Patriarch, Augmented Heraldry, a couple of the Chronomalies that were delayed, like Nebradisc and shit. So, like, just a weird kludge. So like I said, I don't think this card was meant to necessarily correlate with an anime or manga card. It's just, they were like, shit, let's throw in some Galaxy support, baby. And what you got was this guy, who does look kind of at odds with the rest of the aesthetic here. But Galaxy Soldier is a card you can play in Galaxy and definitely has some utility in lots of decks. It's a level 5 light machine, so it also, I think, found its home in Cyber Dragon stuff, especially once their new shit came out.
He was just another random asshole you played set up for Infinity.
Because he's level 5, 2,000 attack, 0 defense. You can send one other light monster from your hand to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand in defense position. When this card is special summoned, you can add a Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. You can use this effective Soldier once per turn. So him having 2,000 attack and being a inherent special means that he's very easy to set up for Photon Dragon. But also, he's just a free body in a rank 5 machine deck stuff. All in all, a fairly good card. Honestly, you would probably still play this in some decks because, like we said, it's all about ratios and stuff, and you can just fucking, scoople him and shoot him.
Look, you can pitch your Orbital 7 to summon Soldier and then summon Lilybot. It's broken.
I mean, that would give you the materials back.
What? That's an opening hand.
Listen, you need normal summons.
Look.
Also, speaking of,
in Galaxy, kind of sometimes you don't. It's funny like that.
Well, and I think that's why Knights still works occasionally. We also got, speaking of funny Galaxy, a Whittle guy, Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon, the whittlest baby. He has yet to hit the gym. He doesn't know what protein is. He's just a little guy.
He's just been born from a Galaxy's eye.
Yeah. And also his, you can very clearly see that his eye is literally another galaxy. I didn't realize the galaxy eye part was quite so literal, but here we are.
Yeah.
The
cosmic energy dragons.
Your eyes are attracted by all the fucking muscle on Galaxy Eyes.
True. But yeah, no, it's just a little guy. Funnily enough, I'm pretty sure Cloud Dragon is supposed to be Galaxy Eyes' equivalent of the like Stones of Legend type shit.
Yeah.
He's a level 1 light dragon, 300 attack, 25, 250 defense.
The way his effect is parsed, it's most definitely like a Stone of Legend style card.
You can tribute him, special summon a Galaxy Eyes monster from your hand or graveyard, except Cloud Dragon. You can use this effective Cloud Dragon once per turn. If this card's in the graveyard, target a Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster you control. Attach to this card as material. You can only use this effect once per duel. Other than the once per duel supplication for no good reason, this is a decent card. He's a normal summon. You tribute him to summon a guy from your hand or graveyard. Just get him out there, and he can attach to give you material back.
There is one other little guy that works very funny in tandem with this card.
Oh, which one is it?
Galaxy Worm. We gave Galaxy a tour guide.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that guy didn't come out until like 2017, so we'll talk about him in another couple of cards. We still got a few more from this era
Fair
to pop
enough.
out.
Also,
But
also
yeah.
the card that just came out, I think, literally this like a month
Oh
or
no,
two
yeah,
ago.
they made a Tachyon version of this guy. He's literally Tachyon Cloud Dragon, I think. So we won't be talking about that yet, but they've done a lot of weird bridging between the Tachyon and
I will say
Galaxy
this.
Eyes
But
part.
I'm going to openly say this now that everybody here on the list, on the poll, I'm going to put Tachyon Photon on the list.
That's fair. You can put it on this next time. We'll see what happens. People may want the follow up.
That's just Kaito wearing a mask.
Well, yeah, this is. I don't know why they call him Numeral Hunter. Is that what they said in the dub? If so, they did. That's dumb. It should just be
Number Hunter.
Number
Yeah.
Hunter or Numbers Hunter, but it's Numeral Hunter.
I don't know why they went with that.
But also, again, first of all, this card's on several Photon spell cards, and also it's just fucking. It's Kite
the
wearing
guy.
his Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon armor like he's Kaiba Man. It's Kite Man.
It is just Kuiper, man.
Yeah, it's really weird. So this is a level 4 Light Warrior, 1600 attack, 1400 defense. If this card is summoned, return all numbers Xyz monsters on the field to the extra deck. Neither player can summon numbers Xyz monsters, cannot be destroyed by battle with an Xyz monster. This card is unaffected by Xyz monsters. This, again, is not directly related to the archetype at all, but it is just fucking Kaito, so, like, it's here. He is a light level 4. It's funny, but, like, what? Huh?
He's got like the wings and the back of like Galaxy
Yeah.
Dragon.
Like, aesthetically, he's very clearly involved, but it's so weird to me that this is, like, where we're at. Like, and it's a funny card. The problem is that this was another card that came out in World Superstars after we'd... Oops. Sorry, I accidentally bumped
I
my...
have a question. Is Galaxy Eyes known for having Konami orbs, or did they just add it to this guy's outfit for shits and giggles?
No, they don't really have Konami orbs. Some of their later ones might. Also, yes, Zed, thank you for asking. This card was not printed in the set called Number Hunters. This was printed in World Superstars. It has also only been printed the once. This card has only been printed in one pack and is a Prismatic Secret Rare. You can still buy it on TCG Player for 10 cents.
Oh,
I do like that the trivia of this trivia page, it is forced to mention this card is similar to Kaiba Man, guys. You know,
Of
It's
course
like-
we are.
I'm just gonna turn down the spell a little bit.
I
Yeah,
do
I
like
think
though
this was
that
auto
its
game
stat
taken.
line is just a 3K split up.
Yeah, that's funny. It's a cute. Okay. Well, now we continue to have more weird extra deck guys, because there's a lot of them.
I need Galaxy Eyes Drum Dragon. Oh, Googly Eyes Tachyon Dragon.
I mean, that would bridge it, but you'd still... Well, you maybe wouldn't need machines, but...
Just as a nice April Fool, just give it to me.
we're past April.
Probably do that.
Um,
Probably do
Doesn't matter.
Maybe-
anyway,
the guy in
speaking
the
of
oven
Crossed
too long.
Souls, now that we're in the Pendulum era, we got some extra bullshit. This is Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon.
This is just an updraw of a key visual.
Yeah. Also, this is just... Literally, we put a Galaxy Eyes in armor. That's it.
Yeah. And you know what? It works.
I mean, it looks good,
What it
but
is.
it's just... It is what it is.
I have one complaint. The ab armor.
Yeah, it's a little
It
weird
honestly
because the rest of his
looks like he
abs are
was left in
showable.
the oven for a little too long.
It looks like they put a muffin tray on his stomach.
Full Armor Dragon is a card you've also probably seen before because it's another one of those guys that's... Listen, we're in, like I said, we're in 2015. We're in Crossed Souls. Clearwing has come out. We know what we're doing now. Full Armor Photon Dragon is a rank 8 Light Dragon Ixie with 4,000 attack, 3,500 defense, so not quite as big as Neo. It does still require 3 level 8 monsters, but you can also Xyz summon this by using any Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster you control's material, except Full Armor Dragon. Transfer its materials to this card. So this is just inherent rank up territory. You have Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster, it can become Full Armor Photon Dragon anytime you like. That said, you are probably not going to use it too good because this card's very weird. Once per turn, you can target 2 equip cards equipped to this card, attach them to this card as material. Once per turn, you can attach material from this card, target a face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. I know that there are a few equipped cards you can run in Galaxy Eyes. Like, that's cute that it can, like, reload its materials with equipped cards. But its other effect is just detach 1, pop 1, face up, by the way. It's kind of alright. This guy doesn't feel like it has the power to instantly end the game like a lot of the big Galaxy Eyes Xyz have. So, I definitely like that they're like, okay, you know, we're working on stuff. Intrinsic rank ups, other funny things.
Yeah. The intrinsic rank ups is a great thing that we get for a lot of other cards, especially the Dark Rebellion stuff, because that's some really nice ones. And in addition to that, the Odd Eyes Xyz cards that just says, fuck it, you got one of these, go into this one.
Yeah. And then, here's another guy who actually, I did not realize how fucking rare this guy was. Considering this card is all over the place. Thank God that they did. Actually, hey, chat, we're about to see a card that was a really good reprint from Rarity Collection 2. I do not believe this card was I cannot believe this card was as rare as he is. You've heard us talk about him. It's number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. Why is Galaxy in the name? I don't know. Often called Hope Humdinger, Hope Harbinger, because his name is really long. So this card, it was printed in Premium Gold, Infinite Gold as a Gold Secret Rare. It was available in the special edition of Cybernetic Horizon, 2 years after it came out, by the way. It was reprinted as an Ultra in Ghost from the Past Second Haunting, and then was printed in every rarity in Rarity Collection 2. This card has never not been printed at a foil. Admittedly, at least some of those cards must be pretty cheap because it looks like it's fairly low-priced on TCG Player, but still, very wild to think about that this card has such rare printings because this is a pretty... when you think of generic rank 8s, this is a pretty quintessential card.
I'm actually just trying to see... figure out the fucking... what's the right word for it? Like, the facing of his wings. Looking at the wings, my brain just goes, are they facing the right direction? And it's like, okay, they are. But for a second, I thought they were both
he's
facing the same direction.
Notice how he's got, like, the different looks. I think it's because his arms are rotated at different angles. But he's got a big, blocky head, which still looks very Galaxy Eyes. His body looks like it's made of, space energy. No legs, but big tail.
He's got a number on one of his shoulder pads. I can only assume that's a number.
Also, no, this did not actually appear in Arc V. Apparently, in the manga, Kite turned number 28 Titanic Moth into this.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I have to come back. What? A moth turned into this?
Yeah, in the manga, by the way, they phrase it as this card was molded by Kaito Tenjo from 28 Titanic Moth. So I'm assuming that's just a consistent terminology, but they make it sound like he scrunched up Titanic Moth like it was modeling clay and turned it into a dragon.
Hope
if I remember right, there is a character. There's a character in the Zell manga who basically does what Playmaker does for a skill. But just he just makes up number monsters in his duels. He just creates them in the middle of the duel.
Also,
yeah,
I do want to
it'd be like that.
Agree. But I also think that the wiki is actually correct in that I think Hope Harbinger looks a lot like the Cubile Gundam from Zeta and Double Zeta. Notice how it has the little... It's got a weird head, and it's got the vents on one side and the pattern on the other side. Yeah. So I think that is probably a reference.
Also, That's fair. I think the thing is that guy is probably just drawing the perfect card. The move you do for one advantage. Sorry.
Oh, he could mold blank numbers by sheer force of will.
That is drawing the perfect card. That is an action you can do.
I mean, he's not drawing it because it's in his extra deck. He just makes them. He just.
Hey,
okay.
hey, chat. I've actually
wait.
watched Mobile Suit Gundam. If you want to fight me on saying it's not a Gundam, it's a mobile suit, I'll put you in a locker. Nobody cares that much. It's really not worth it. Yes, I know it's a mobile suit. I did have to double check if it was technically a mobile armor, but it's not. But like, this series is called Gundam. You know what the fuck I mean. You don't need to actually me.
Good old gun boy.
I will put you in a locker.
I do that to beat this. I just do that to beat Vedanta.
Yeah, like in the final battle of like the final battle of the Zell manga is kind of goes fucking hard. It's pretty sick. I'm not gonna spoil it.
I think I talked about this actually on Let's Talk this week, but it was mentioned by our chat that like talking about like anime remakes that like one, there's never been a completely faithful like anime adaptation of the Yu-Gi-Oh manga, you know, where we didn't add like extra filler or split it up between production companies. But also the Yu-Gi-Oh the later Yu-Gi-Oh mangas based on the anime series, those go some really different places and have some very interesting stuff.
Everything from GX on, the manga adaptation just does its own fucking thing. Like the GX manga is where we get the Masked Heroes and the Planet series. So like the Tyrant Neptune.
Chaz uses Light and Darkness Dragon.
Light and Darkness Dragon, Tragodia. But anyways, like in the final battle, the guy who plays all this like all the random spider numbers, that's that guy.
No wonder those cards are so fucking annoying.
Yeah. But there's a point where like he just like passes Titanic Moth over to Kite because it's his heroic sacrifice moment, and Kite just goes, "All right, I'll make a better one. I can't use this one, so I'll make a better number."
Here, I'll show you.
I'll make it even greatinator.
This is what Titanic Moth looks like. It's a rank 7. We won't talk about it now because I'd love to do a numbers episode sometime for even more suffering, but it's just, you know, a big space moth.
Separate that chaos numbers or no?
No. We just do numbers.
100 and all 100 and...
Yeah. Prepare to be here for 4 hours. That's the point.
There's gonna be
Let's do it a week. Let's do it a week at a time. So I don't have to worry about
I'm not doing it until we get a
I feel like if we're
sub-goal.
doing numbers, we have to exclude Utopia. Utopia needs to be his own episode.
We may
Utopia,
that actually
yes.
may have to be done because there are just so many Utopia variants.
We will also skip all the variants that have different numbers.
But yeah, sorry.
Non-Utopia variants. I guess also non-Galaxy variants.
But Mr. Hope Harbinger here. And obviously, in case you can't tell, you know, Hope Harbinger also, like, that's got Hope, like, you know, Utopia, Kibo Hope in it. But it's a generic 8. It's 2 level 8s. It's a light dragon with 3k attack, 2500 defense. Once per turn, when a spell card or effect is activated on the field, quick effect, you can negate that effect. If you do, attach that card to this as material. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, detach a material from this card, change the attack target to this card, and perform damage calculation. If another face-up Xyz monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, target a face-up Xyz monster you control. It gains attack equal to one of those destroyed monsters' original attack. This guy is just a fucking asshole. There's a reason why we talk about the Hope Herb. And there's a reason why I made the joke about this is your best turn 1 play. This guy is just a pain in the ass. Once per turn, spell card negate, and attaches material. It can redirect attacks to itself, so you have to take care of it. And also, even if you don't want to take care of it, if your opponent gets rid of a bigger Xyz monster by battle or card effect, you can just make your guys bigger. He's a bigger guy. Very, very annoying card to deal with for its big rarity.
Yeah, Hope Harbinger really is just a big ol' asshole.
He's a big tough boy.
It's always funny just like how many of the Galaxy dragons just kind of harbor a space in like in the upper rank the upper rank pools as just constant assholes.
Well, it's one of those fun, you know, factoids because the we're working with 8s, right? So Konami is like, okay, so to summon at least one of these rank 8s, you need 2 8s. 2 level 8s, that's pretty hard to do. We're going to give them some extra sauce. And they do give them some extra sauce, and it's really crazy. This actually brings up to a card that I believe was mentioned earlier, as somebody was like, oh, I thought that card was much earlier. And actually, technically, I'm looking at my stat line. This probably should have been in the last block. But my numbers, I think, have gotten a little muddled somewhere. It's hard to keep track of all these guys. This was actually printed in 2014. So probably a little closer to the actual Zexal era, but like I said, we're getting into the extreme density. This is number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. So this is our first actual number Galaxy Eyes guy. He's the cover card for Primal Origin, actually. So yeah, this is towards our tail end, though I believe Primal Origin was one of the cards that, like, one of the sets, I should say, that was mentioned in World Superstars as having, like, some extra cards. So, like, this is at the tail end. So parts of this are neat. Parts of this are not neat. His calf muscles are huge. Also, he's got, like, normal man hands, and even his arms are actually, I think, skinny. They're, like, really tiny. But why are his calves
armored,
so huge?
But yeah, they're armored but lithe in a fucky sense.
Yeah. We're also doing some weird stuff with, it's a little hard to tell, but if you look closer, you'll notice that he has wings on the front of his shoulders because the backs of his shoulders are more tails. It's really weird. So it's not, like, terrible. It's just one of those things that, like, I can understand if you didn't want to see this blown up. This is big. This is a card that is much weirder up close.
Yeah, all the tails.
Yeah, and I also don't know why they call this guy Prime Dragon, because, like, the way it's like Romaji name is it's supposed to be Photon Dragon Emperor. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon Emperor specifically. Like, he's a weird guy. This is the thing that Loth, I think, was asking about earlier. It was like, oh, are Galaxy monsters known for having Konami orbs? Not originally, but you'll notice, boy, does this guy have a fuck ton of them. Also, I think he has double legs. It looks like he's got extra armor supports for his legs behind his legs. It's pretty weird. So Prime Photon Dragon is a rank 8 Xyz. It's just 2 level 8 monsters, but for some reason is 4,000 attack, 3,000 defense. If this card battles during damage calculation, quick effect, detach a Michio from this card once per battle. Yes, once per battle, quick effect. This card gains attack equal to the combined ranks of all Xyz monsters currently on the field times 200. So at minimum, you're gaining 8 times 200, so 1,600. During that damage calculation only, if this card and its owner's control is destroyed by opponent's card effect while it has Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as material, special summon this card during your second standby phase after activation and double its attack. Any battle damage this card's inflicting your opponent is halved unless it has Photon Dragon as material. Once again, this is just... what a motherfucker. First of all, a 2-mat 8 that's just 4K. Just 4K. Has the ability to detach material and gain rank. And gain attack based on ranks. Absolutely could be crushing, especially when you're playing this in the Xyz era where you have... like, that's your primary one. You know?
So the closest I can get to the fact that it's called Prime Photon Dragon is that apparently in the anime Kite is like, yes, this is the true form of Galaxy Eyes. So he's like the original, he's the Prime. But I don't know, like, I don't know why we did that instead of like doing Emperor.
Yeah.
Like it's not like Emperor.
I mean,
a word that we can't
they call
translate.
it like it's one of those cases where like the way the pronunciation is out loud, it's numbers, Rokujuni, Galaxy Eyes, Prime Photon Dragon. But I'm like, why don't you just call him Photon Dragon Emperor? Or you could have called him like Kaiser Photon Dragon. I know it's been a while since we brought that one out, but it's a weird case where they stuck the Prime on there in English. And I guess like Primes are cool, but like I would much prefer to have the Photon Dragon Emperor,
Ironically, 62 isn't even a prime number.
Also true. But yeah, this is a big bungler. You get extra attack during the battle. If it's destroyed, you get to summon it back, though admittedly second standby phase after activation. But if you do that, its attack is doubled. It's an 8k attacker. That's wild.
I mean, yeah, it's like regardless, it's still a 4k asshole.
Yeah, no. But hey, let's talk about another guy who's an asshole and also is like the most fucked up guy.
Are we talking about him but angrier?
Yeah, it's time for the boy, the banned one. This card was also actually released in Premium Gold.
I meant Chaos 62.
Oh yeah, actually I don't. When did Chaos 62 actually get added?
Well, that's her, but I think that's him, but Black Hole. Cool.
When was C62?
We not do C62 in tandem with the original? Like
No, because that wasn't printed until Photon Hypernova in the year 2023. That's why he's not right now on my list.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I did not
That's
think of that either, but that guy didn't get a Chaos Numbers version until last year. So we'll talk about Dark Matter first.
Okay.
So this is Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. And this one was actually printed in like 2015 in one of the Premium Gold sets, so he is from the appropriately later block.
I come back to this.
This guy's real fucked up. He's a
Yeah.
melty ghost dragon.
Yeah, so a Dark Matter Dragon. If you've never seen this card before, it's probably because he was banned before you started playing the game.
This is one of those rare cases where, unlike Tomahawk, this guy's banned on both sides of the ocean and in Master Duel.
And for very good reason.
This guy reminds me of just like, yes, so we took this normal dragon that you've seen before and just made them like a zombie, like, Red Eye Zombie Dragon and all that nonsense.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what the idea, like, because the appearances tab, like, mentions, like, how it gets summoned. Let me see. Trivia. It's numbers. Well, apparently they talk about it being associated with, like, Deadly Sin of Pride.
So, I also had a thought. You know what this reminds me of? Who here has seen Fern Gully?
Oh, the oil monster?
Slime beneath me. Slime up above.
Yes, I want Tim Curry's voice to be coming out of this guy.
This guy would be voiced by Tim Curry.
That's a very lawful response.
Think
Very
about it
specific.
though.
But yeah,
I love
so
the trivia page of Dark Matter Dragon. It just goes on a tangent saying that it's hypothesized that 95% of the universe is made of dark matter. I'm like, cool. Why is that relevant to this guy?
I mean, I know that's why he's called dark matter because it's a space term. I don't think that actually matters. But yeah, so Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon is a Dark Dragon Ixie, rank 9, 4,000 attack, 0 defense. That's right, this guy's got that. Much like Full Armor, he is 3 level 9 monsters, but you can also Xyz summon him by using a Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster you control and transfer its materials. It can't be used as Xyz material.
You 7 sends this asshole.
Yeah.
Or Pain Gainer, however. Like you just climb up with this guy.
Also, by the way, Vesper, the reason why the 95% thing matters is because he's number 95.
Oh, that may actually be directly. Yes. That didn't click either until Loth said it.
Wait, say it again. Sorry, what?
The trivia page says that the universe may be made up as high as 95% dark matter. That's probably why this guy is number 95. That was just so, like, normal to me that it completely went over my head. Anyway, this card can't be used as Xyz material for an Xyz summon, so you have to stop ranking up here. But that doesn't matter because this card is the most scary card in generic Dragon decks ever. When this card is Xyz summoned, send 3 Dragon-type monsters with different names from your deck to your graveyard. Then your opponent banishes 3 monsters from their deck.
Is that send 3 Dragon Rulers to the graveyard?
It's also, or just anything, really, because it's...
I mean, yeah, no, like, absolutely.
Because it has 3 souls around it, so, like, yeah.
I used it as, I think I used this in Chaos Dragons. So, that's great. Also, then your opponent is required. They mandatorily have to banish 3 monsters from their deck. So just any 3 of their cards, fuck them.
This was long before banishing was, like, your 5th hand.
And even then, only some decks would find a use out of that. There are other decks that's just going to be like, well, shit, what are my 3 most useless monsters? Also, by the way, this has one more effect. You can attach 1 Xyz material, which it can make 2 attacks on monsters during the battle phase. Obviously not a guarantee, but it is a fucking 4K attacker as well.
It's a 4K attacker. You just dumped a free advantage into your graveyard. You've dumped a Destrudo, you've dumped whatever.
Yeah, a card that on summon is foolish 3 dragons with different names, and then your opponent has a mandatory banish 3 on a 4K attacker who gets to attack twice. No wonder this guy's in jail. This guy's like,
yeah, like when we talk about Ogdoadic, we joked about how any other archetype or any other typing with a foolish 4 would be ridiculous. This is foolish 3 for dragons. One of the most, like, a type that is so over bloated, we had to make like 3 different dragon types so we could stop making dragons.
Yeah, no, it's insane, and it's so good. And again, this came out in 2015 in Premium Gold Return of the Bling. It has only been printed once. And admittedly, it got to live quite a while on the TCG and the OCG. This card didn't get banned until 2019, but guess what? Dragon Link. What's that? I get to send any 3 dragons to my graveyard? Ooh, cool. I would never send dark dragons to my graveyard. That definitely won't do anything.
Yeah, like, it wasn't, like, if you were playing, like rank 8 dragons like Blue Eyes or whatever the fuck you were, you could just go into Galaxy Monster and then this.
Yeah.
And it was insane advantage no matter what you were playing. But the moment Link's hit the board and you could just send 3 rockets or whatever, it's like, oh, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's
Stop
just
that.
the advantage engine continues. Yeah. It's a funny time. So Dark Matter got to live for a little bit, but I think anybody who could read that this card bins 3 dragons on summon would understand this. Eventually, this fucker has to go.
This card was on a doomsday clock.
How often did Axe summon this against us in Prague?
Once or twice, top.
I mean, I think...
Because I remember it wasn't just you. There were actually other people using it.
No, I think, like I said, I tried to make it work in Chaos Dragons as well, because I think I had it at a Galaxy Eyes line. I'm pretty sure it came up a couple of times. I am fairly certain that it probably only lasted a week or 2. For those couple of weeks it was around, it was fairly consistent for those of us who had it to get into it, though, was the problem. It was not a hard card to summon, and when you did summon it, it was very painful because a lot of us were running very strong, D-Ruler or Chaos Dragon packages.
Thank you, Marv, for checking. It was the 55th week.
56th.
I can't. Fuck you, YouTube chat, for not showing it correctly.
Tries.
Why do you gotta put that heart there?
Oh, I don't know. I turn off the reaction bubble. You can do that in the little menu.
Thank you.
But yeah, so we
thanks a
move
lot.
on
Thanks
into like the later the blah 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 what do you call it? The later, late Pendulum, early Link era. We did get some extra guys. This is Galaxy Stealth Dragon.
With his stand.
I think he's supposed to be cloaking or something. He's stealthy.
Yeah.
This card art's okay. This was actually once again used by Mizar, not Kaito.
He just looks like a widow Galaxy Eyes.
Yeah, he's basically he's like baby Tachyon.
Yeah.
Also like doing a fucking after image.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be stealthy, you know. It's an interesting one. They reprinted it later. This one, unfortunately, I don't think works as well in the actual Galaxy deck because it specifically this is a Dark Dragon rank 4 Ixies, which says 2 dragon monsters, 2 level 4 dragons. So he's a weird little guy.
Many level 4 dragons aside from Galaxy Dragon in Galaxies.
Yeah, no. I can open the appearances tab and tell you exactly which cards he used. He used Heliosphere and Radius Dragon, which are light dragon level 4s, but have nothing to do with the actual card thing going on. Though I will say both of those cards, hypothetically, as light dragons, had room in Galaxy decks older because they both have the ability to become level 8. But yeah, this is a weird one. I will say, though, that this does have 2k attack and is a Galaxy Dragon, so it could make room. Because it says, once per turn, detach a material, special summon a dragon from your hand, and then your opponent can't target other Galaxy cards with card effects, and they can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So, like, its main problem is just it's a pain in the ass to summon in modern Galaxy decks. It's not bad, it's just summoning requirements are a little strict.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just a card that's it's designed as dragon support, but they just decided to name it a galaxy monster and give it a galaxy protection effect that will never last because he's probably not staying on the board if you really want to get to the get the galaxy guys.
And speaking of cards from that era as well, this is another guy. This guy came out in Dragons of Legend, so I assume that he's going to be... Yeah, this is another card that was in the... I think this was actually... Okay, yeah, so this was actually appeared in... so this is a terrible sin against the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki, but I had to double-check, but they don't specifically say that these episode numbers they're giving me are from Arc 5, but they are, so... We're about to look at a card that emerged in Arc 5, so we're in that era of the Galaxy support. Because it's time for you to die of eye damage. It's Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon.
I like the Cypher cards, even though they're not the greatest.
Oh, I don't mind the Cypher as yet another, by the way, sub-archetype. It's not terrible. The default Cypher Dragon hurts my eyeballs.
Fair.
He has a lot of bright colors. He's added, like, a gold trim and, like, a rainbow wing effect. Also, he's got, like... It's cool, but also it's yet more colors. He has a fucking Getsuga Tensho, negative photo image lightning effect behind him.
Yeah,
don't worry. I think the base Cypher Dragon is cool. They're the one of the assholes will give you eye damage though.
Yeah, and I will say this: this guy's probably not the worst. His design is very understandable. It's just that like we keep bolting on extra colors to Galaxy Eyes, who was already really like loud in terms of color. Okay, so the Rainbow Wing is specifically from Cypher Wing. Okay, that makes sense, because there are, like I said, Cypher is like a support card. This is another one of those weird cases, though, by the way. I don't know why they decided to go, like, this is an OCG question. I don't know why they decided to, like, do their own extra cool English translation of it being called Cypher, because the, like, way you write Cypher in Japanese kanji is Lightwave. I think Galaxy Eye's Lightwave Dragon is way cooler than Galaxy Eye's Cypher Dragon.
No,
Kaito Tenjo has never done cryptography in his life. Also probably hasn't done cartography. He's like, what, 12?
He's some kind of age. He's an alien, or he has some connection to alien shit.
he kind of because that's like Yuma I know is like 14, so it's I know.
Okay,
Kaito's
okay,
like
so like proper
16,
middle schooler. So
like-
he's probably like 14 or 15. Okay, I still don't think he's ever had to
Technically,
had
he's
to
not a
break a
middle.
code.
He's not actually. I don't think he's actually a middle schooler. I think he's actually like. It's like
I
the
know,
point
but
is you can think,
age
like,
ranges, you know, he'd be in the block.
He's like a range older than Yuma.
Oh, is he supposed to be like a high school freshman even? Even then,
It might be. So.
I don't know a lot about the character, but I'm gonna hope and pray that Kaito Tenjo doesn't crunch cryptocurrency in his spare time.
I don't think he knows what
He's
that is.
18? Oh my god. I listen, I know anime character
Oh,
designs,
no.
but like fucking what?
I mean, he's a head taller than Yuma.
I
He
guess,
does
but, like,
have,
that
like,
doesn't
the
mean, that
top
doesn't
of the
mean
cast.
anything in anime. Yugi is like half the size of Joey and Tristan, and they're all supposed to be the same age.
I do believe his younger
Retrospect-
brother is supposed to be like Yuma's age or something, or if
Okay,
not a little
damn.
younger.
But also, wow, sucks for him, I guess, to get clowned on by a kid who's a kid and he's a fucking legal adult.
Well, the thing about it is that technically he traumatizes that kid for at least like 3 arcs.
That's not a good look either, though.
Yeah.
Yuma's 13. Yeah, no. Well, my mind is blown about that. What Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon does, this is one of the Xyz variants from Arc V. It's a light dragon, rank 8, 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. This is the thing, actually, I kind of don't like about a lot of the Galaxy Eyes cards that keep coming out, is for some reason the extra deck guys are also 3K25. I know that that's, like, already can be a challenge to get over, but it's like, man, I could have just summoned, 2 more Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons at this. But it is generic, so not every rank 8 play is going to work on that. It does have the ability to detach a material, target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Monsters you control can't attack your opponent directly for the rest of this turn, except this card, but you take control of that monster until the end phase. But while this effect is applied, its effect is negated, its attack becomes 3,000, and it is also Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon. It's very funny. You have absolutely seen Cypher Dragon as a funny tech card in rank 8 strategies because it's just brain control.
Yeah,
It's
from what I
very silly.
remember,
Yes.
from what in the Arc 5 anime, like the monster like transforms into Cypher Dragon when it's stolen.
Yeah, it's a really weird little thing. But they also gave it a Neo. He has an upgraded
This
mode.
one will. I want to say Neo is the one that hurts my eyes the most out of the ciphers.
I would expect so.
A little, yeah, that's a little bit hurt there.
Hey,
But,
Chad,
like,
how you doing?
I think it's
This
cool,
is
though.
Neo Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon. I think it's a
think
cool
that's very
concept,
cool.
but there are parts of this I don't like.
shoulder head.
The shoulder xenomorph heads are a little weird. That's honestly not the part that's the weirdest to me. What's going on with his knee joint here?
Yeah.
Hmm? Yeah, what's is it like
It has
Going
a side
backwards?
bit. Yeah.
it's like
he's got like a
doing a weird-
bionicle. He's got like a bionicle knee joint.
Okay, I know what it is. Cause see this other leg? It's just the angle. It's just
yeah,
the
it's
perspective
it's poor perspective. He's got full back bent legs, but the artist like put his front facing leg up there. It also the perspective really fucks up his feet. It makes his foot look a lot worse than it is. Because if you look at his not back foot, but you know what I mean, the foot that's further back in the background
You
looks
can
completely
tell.
normal.
You can honestly, like, if it's blown up, you can really tell that the foot was drawn after they drew the tail and like the upper leg. Like
Yeah,
the foot
no,
was drawn
yeah.
like last.
It's got the rainbow cipher bits. We're adding more colors, and also he's got like Konami orbs and like stained glass cutouts that are full of more rainbow goo. It's a little busy. It's not the worst, but I do want to be like, the artist could have drawn this one better. Like it looks like he's got a few too many squiggles in there. Also, it's funny. This card came out in Raging Tempest. It also does look a lot like the cover card of that, which is Odd Eye's Raging Dragon.
Yep.
Also, Raging Dragon's very funny because I believe it's come up again because for some reason that scene from the Arc 5 anime where he summons Raging Dragon, that's the there won't be a next turn. That's really been popping off on Twitter again lately. Don't know why. It's a cool scene, but still. just kind of coming up out of nowhere. But there's your fun trivia fact for the day.
There have been a lot of like Twitter trends right now of people just being told to just post raw shit. Just quote retweet with the raw shit you've seen or something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could definitely see that grabbing people on.
I actually have one
Twitter.
in was it?
Books, movies, and things earlier about from a Kamen Rider one. So, yeah.
Also, by the way, I love that they do still call it Neo Galaxy Eyes, but again, this is where like the base translated version will be much cooler. That it's written as Super Galaxy Eyes Lightwave Dragon. But Neo works too. It's fine. I know it's Japan. You want to do English. So Neo Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon is a rank 9 light dragon, 4,500 attack, 3k defense. Again, following the usual Neo Galaxy Eyes vibe. It requires 3 level 9 monsters. It does not have an inherent ability to rank up, which is interesting. I'm not actually sure which strategy you play to go up 1 rank in Galaxy Eyes. There's probably a rank up magic for that. But if Neo Cipher Dragon has a Cipher as an Xyz material, any Cipher card, it gains the following effect. Once per turn, you can detach 3 materials from this card. Monster you control can't attack your opponent directly for this turn, except this card, but each material detached take control of 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, and then, they are negated, their attack becomes 45, and their names become Neo Galaxy Cipher. So it just steals 3 of your opponent's monsters instead. I'm pretty sure because this guy doesn't have an inherent rank up, you don't usually play him. It's very funny, once again, but not really worth the hassle.
There is a rank up magic for it, yeah, but you don't really need to go into this guy because you have so many other options.
Yeah, you're... Okay, there's explicitly, yes, Zed said the exact name of that in the chat. Magic Cipher
Rank
Ascension.
up Magic Cipher Ascension.
So,
Target 1 Cipher Xyz monster you control. Special your extra deck 1 Cipher Xyz monster that has 1 rank higher.
yeah, so there is a explicit rank up magic to do this. It's probably not worth the extra deck slot. Again, it's funny, but you could just make a guy who's big and kill.
Now, what is funny is that the end all of our ciphers has a very funny effect that does work in tandem with our cipher dragons, snatch and a remold into cipher dragon gimmick.
Yeah.
Are we doing Cipher Blade next, I believe?
We got that guy in here. Let me double check. Like I said, I assembled this earlier while I was feeling worse. But when did... Oh, I clicked on the master version of it. He is in my list, but we will talk about him a little later. He wasn't actually printed until the Link era, funnily enough.
All right.
So we're going to start with the main deck monsters that started showing up in that time period. The actual post Arc 5 into Link era. Starting with another guy who, honestly, you may also never have seen. This is Galaxy Brave.
Don't say brave when... Yeah, this guy's just another fucking knight.
What the fuck is this?
I have played him actually, and I forget if he actually was that great or he was just he was just.
I mean, I think he's okay. He's
I
Galaxy
saw him
Knight, but better.
earlier. He's a 0/0, is he not? For some
Yes.
reason.
So
He
yeah,
is a-
well,
he is a-
I don't
he
know
does
if you guys have anything to add about his appearance. Go ahead and hit it after I explain him. But he's a level 8 light warrior with 0/0. If this card's in your hand, you can reveal a photon monster. Special summon this card. If you do, its level becomes the photon monsters. If this card is normal or special, target a galaxy in your graveyard. This card's attack becomes that monster's attack and defense. You can only use each effect once per turn. So
That's why you want Galaxy Dragon Brave.
yeah, it just becomes the stat line of a galaxy monster in your graveyard. When normal, they're special, by the way. And also, it lets you reveal a photon card in your hand to level steal. And summon him. So yeah, he's got utility. Art-wise, though, like we said, he's just kind of another Space Knight guy. He's following a theme.
He feels like he's gonna tell me to check this out. That's about all I can say about him.
He would tell you to check it
It
out.
looks like a key visual that was updated.
It looks like
Yeah,
hey,
like
we
it-
made space chess, and this is what one of the pawns would look like.
I mean, fun fact. You say it was a key visual that was spiced up. I'm pretty sure Galaxy Brave, because we're firmly in the. This was released in Soul Fusion. I'm pretty sure this guy is solely legacy support. He never actually showed up on screen.
Yeah, this is one of those guys that's just a guy. Like, I don't think his art is offensive, but neither
Right.
is it.
Oh, it's
anything that
definitely
grabs
just,
me.
hey, it's
Like,
2018. Galaxy Knight's not that cool anymore. What do we do? We'll draw Galaxy Knight 2. Now he has 2 swords. Eh.
he turned his kite. He turned his kite into a short sword.
Yeah.
Because I will say one thing. He does have a giant fucking like buster sword like holster on his back, but he's holding a short like a smaller.
Yeah, he has
sword
a
on his
smaller
back
blade.
hand.
Our next card
This one
is
back
Galaxy
that you saw.
Cleric.
Your only normal summon.
We are just making the Galaxy TTRPG party.
Yeah.
This is the bishop.
That's also true, yes, Loth. But yeah, this is just Galaxy Wizard, but again, it's 2018. We've drawn her again. Like, very similar design. It's just that her robe, her mantle is a lot more normal, and her hat is now a hood, which is a lot more, sensical. That's it. That's all we did. We're just like redrawing second passes of cards. So Galaxy Cleric is a level 4 light spellcaster, 1500 attack, 600 defense. If this card's in your hand, target a Photon or Galaxy Xyz monster you control, attach it as material. If this card's normal or special, target 5 Photon or Galaxy cards with different names in your graveyard. Shuffle them back, draw 2 cards. You can only use 1 effect per turn, only once that turn. So, they gave this deck a conditional in archetype Pot of Avarice.
Ironically, you don't use it that much. You actually more use it.
Oh
for,
no, you would not.
level
Yeah,
8.
you don't. I think if you
If
wanted to
could,
actually
it's
shuffle
not
back.
bad, but most of the time you don't ever get.
Yeah, honestly, I think if you could actually shuffle back 5 regularly, you would just play Pot of Avarice in this deck. But you're not gonna. You're gonna play Trade-In
Yeah.
instead.
My only comment on this card is that I can't wait for them to make Galaxy Rogue.
Hell, I haven't
Or
yet.
Galaxy,
Light
Galaxy
Body.
Thief.
Yeah,
Or Galaxy
Galaxy
Assassin.
Thief, Galaxy Rogue, like whatever your choice of La Couture you want them to go by.
All right, and now it's time for the funniest little guy who I have absolutely no idea why he exists. This is now Galaxy Worm.
Dude, I can tell you right now, as we alluded to, this guy is just tour guide, literally just tour guide for Galaxy monsters.
This was a very early card.
The fucking lightning
No,
coming
it
off from
wasn't.
like,
Oh, was it?
2019.
Where?
2019.
2017. It's
Weird
Code of
because
the,
I
Code of the
remember
Duelist.
being in the anime way early on.
I will tell
I
you
don't
though,
see any-
Cloud Dragon tributes for cost, so it actually dodges Worm's negation effect.
It was in the manga at some point in Zexal, but yeah, no. It's just a weird little guy. This card came out in Code of the Duelist. This was literally a first wave Link era card, which honestly probably an okay time to print it. So Galaxy Worm is a light insect, level 3, 1200, 100. When this card is normal summon and you control no other monsters, special summon a level 3 or lower Galaxy effect monster from your deck, but negate its effects. So yeah, no, it's just a very conditional tour guide. But as Vesper brought up, Cloud Dragon tributes for cost.
Like the only you're summoning this, or I haven't actually read this other level 1 card that I don't. Yeah, no, you don't want to summon that one. So you summon
No.
Cloud Dragon. I was looking at a for some reason. Actually, know what? I'll leave that one to be a surprise.
Yeah.
That one to be a surprise. for later.
I think, to me, what this says is just you use Galaxy Worm to summon a second Galaxy Worm, because that either gives you a rank 3 play, or now you can make a Link 2.
Yeah.
Which would actually be relevant when this was printed, because...
Did they make a?
there are a
Link
couple
3?
of... no, there's a couple of Link 2s. Our first one does not work because, once again,
Oh, right, Link 2.
for some reason, they type locked this guy, but this is Galaxy Satellite Dragon.
I remember this. Wish it was better than it should have been.
Yeah. So this came out in Chaos Impact. I can see what they're going for, but
So it's like Tachyon Dragon, but like
we
cleaner?
put
So it's
Tachyon
like-
Dragon inside the Data Storm. Is what happened.
I know what it is.
We put him.
It is.
in-
This is the mass production unit version of Tachyon.
Yeah,
No,
that's what it is.
Yeah, this is Galaxy Dragon wearing Tachyon Dragon's like armor or some shit.
Yeah,
What-
it's
what are
it's
you
a
guys
weird
talking
one.
About? This is clearly the mini-con for Galaxy Ice Tachyon Dragon.
But yeah, so this guy is a dark dragon link monster, so obviously it has potential for room. It's got the 2 corner arrows. It's got 2,000 attack. It requires exactly 2 dragon monsters to be made. So you can't make it with Worm. That's a funny strategy out the gate right away. But this card was printed in 2019 in Chaos Impact, so Konami understood that Dark Dragon Link was a thing. That said, this is still a arguable Xyz support card. It says during the battle phase, quick effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard, target a number Xyz monster whose original attribute and type are light dragon. Till the end of the battle phase, its attack becomes equal to the value of the number in its name times 100. Any battle damage your opponent takes is halved. During your opponent's end phase, choose 1 card from your deck, place it on top of your deck. You can use each effect once per turn. So I'm pretty sure if I understand that correctly, like, let me run some of these back.
I've already looked it up.
Yes.
There's a very funny light dragon Xyz monster.
It has to be a number.
Oh, I know. There's a very funny numbered light dragon Xyz
Okay. Which
monster.
one is it?
Number 99.
Yeah.
You top it dragon.
Well, that is very funny, Vesper, but I would also like to tell you what the funnier one actually is that number 107.
You know what? You're right.
That becomes
107
10,700 attack. Which, admittedly, you can only attack, once normally, but that guy has the ability to attack twice sometimes. And it'll be 10k and 10k. So, like, Satellite Dragon's very funny. I like it.
Ironically, though, I'd rather just do an Afterglow combo and hit for 12k.
Yeah, this is a card that is sadly redundant because they printed a better version of it that doesn't require you to make a Link monster with two dragon monsters. I appreciate their attempt at the time, and it kind of is like what we talked about, right, with, like, Isolde and Hulk. Like, it feels like it's trying to be in that ballpark, but for some reason they made it a Galaxy support card or a number support card that requires 2 dragons. So it's generic, kind of, but it's not generic enough for a deck that's also playing, like, warriors and spellcasters and insects and shit.
Yeah, it's one of those situations of a card that definitely was made with the generic support in mind, but it ended up being in a spot where the generic niche just was not wide enough, like with a Solde, where it's just, I don't fucking know, add a warrior card.
Yeah, like, it's
Or-
funny
or-
because, like
or
you said,
House,
there,
that's it.
number 99 Utopic
Cooner.
Dragon, there's a lot of very funny light dragon numbers you can do this with. And I just want to say, I love how absolutely unhinged the philosophy of, make its attack equal to its number times 100. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just fuck it.
That's very funny, but...
There's also number 100 too. Just in
number
case.
100 is also a dragon, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's, like, very funny, but it's in a position where it's not really easily made. But yeah, so we talked about him earlier, but now we're doing alphabetically in the Link era. It's time for another guy to come out. This is Galaxy Ice Cypher Blade Dragon.
Oh my god.
I think we're crossing into the too busy territory. I think we're getting in there.
I'd like.
So he's
It
got,
is
like,
too busy.
weird layered samurai armor, like gauntlets and hat.
I like it though.
He's definitely too busy, but he is not physically assaulting my eyes with bright.
They
as
made
many
they
bright
made the colors a
as
little more
yeah.
manageable, which I like. But I don't hate it. Like, it doesn't offend me. But I
He
have
looked
to
really
be
cool
like,
in motion.
man, I think he's too busy. He's got, like, fucking
I think this is
floating
really-
arm
this is-
blades.
I think this is
Interesting.
really good
We
as
got
like a
blades on blades,
model,
actually.
honestly. Like, this is one of those cards where it's like, if it was like a model, it'd be pretty good.
I mean, if
Well,
it was
yeah,
like a
unfortunately,
literal
it was-
plastic model, it would probably be pretty good. If it was rendered on an anime screen, it would look like dog shit. Probably.
No, I meant
because-
like a more like a 3D game model or like just like an engine model.
I think a 3D game model would also look like dog shit.
I guess
It's got like floating blades and bits. You want to ask the animation team to rig this?
What are you, insane?
really good though. Fair enough. You made a point.
I mean, it would look good in motion if you could pull it off. The problem is he's got a lot of bits and bobs. He's got shoulder vents, and then wing bits, and he's got like a hat that goes back. Like I said, I don't hate it. It's just definitely too busy. Like he has like forward swept blade knees. Why? But this one does not like Vesper said. It doesn't use the bright enough colors to hurt my eyeballs. So Blade Dragon is another light dragon, Ixie, rank 9, 3200 attack, 2800 defense, so much more compact stats for rank 9. Normally, you would need 3 rank 9 monsters to make this, but you can also Ixie summon it by using a rank 8 Galaxy-Eyes monster you control as material. Transfers materials to this card. Can't be used as material for an Ixie summon. Once per turn, you can detach a material from this card, target a card in the field, destroy it. If this Ixie summon card you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster, or destroys an opponent's card, destroyed by an opponent's card effect, and sent to your graveyard, target a Cypher Dragon, special summon it. So,
the idea is you summon Cypher Dragon, bring up into this, detach Cypher Dragon, pop a card, and you can just bring Cypher back.
yeah.
I think I have been bunkered by that exact strategy in Master before.
Yeah, you gotta watch out because he floats back into his little self. It's a good utility, like I said. It's just ludicrously easy to make, and it's a pop one. It's workable for sure. But Galaxy are so important, they got multiple links.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Their other link to is Galaxy Soul Flare Dragon, who honestly looks a lot better than Satellite Dragon.
It's also them saying, hey, we apologize for making Satellite Dragon not that great.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a much smarter card. The funny part, though, is that, let's see, let me see when Satellite Dragon actually was. So this was in Soul Fusion. So I can't spell satellite correctly, but let's hope that it gets me there. Okay, so this Soul Flare came out first. I did them alphabetically because they were, but Soul Flare actually already existed. They released Satellite Dragon a year later in Chaos Impact. I mean, I will say you can see modern Konami kind of getting in here. Like, he's got bright yellow Konami orbs that also have veinlets coming from him. Like, he's actually a Venom Dragon. But still, I like this purple and orange color scheme.
The orbs also do not detract from the design.
Yeah, they're kind of integrated.
The orbs traveling up work. They work as an accent to the color scheme, as opposed to like Odd Eyes Dragon, where Odd Eyes Dragon just has like blue orbs attached to a red dragon. Like it doesn't look right.
It's part of the
Whereas,
color scheme.
You have an orange and purple shade where a bright yellow fits. A bright yellow works as like an in-between shading.
What I also want to say that's super sick about this is because he's, Soul Flare, solar fire. Parts of his body are just wisping up like flames. That's really rad.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's
a good design.
Yeah, this is a real good looking guy.
I love this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. This is a light dragon link to 2,000 attack, 2 light monsters, including a monster with 2,000 or more attack. So, hey, very much...
Pretty easy to do in Galaxy.
Yeah, very much obviously a Galaxy line. If this card is link summoned, target a Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard, add it back to your hand. During your opponent's main phase quick effect, discard a Photon or Galaxy card, or discard one Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon. Target a special summon monster your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only... it's 1 Photon and 1 Galaxy, or 1 Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon. You can only use each effect once per turn. So, this is just a funny little tech guide to give you a link axis.
I do I do like the like just the concept that Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, because it counts as both, you can just discard one of him instead of two.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that little I like that little mechanic phrasing.
Yeah. Where they just make it overlap. And then we unfortunately have to look at another guy in armor.
Oh
Oh,
no.
we do.
Yes, it's time for number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, who's printed in Battles of Legend.
He doesn't look the greatest, but
Oh.
God, you fucking depend on him a lot.
He's a good
You
card.
know-
Maybe I've been desensitized. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig this crab armor. I don't know why.
As opposed to the other armored guys we've seen, I actually do prefer this guy over them.
Well, I want to say this guy's a lot more in the
honestly-
photon department. Notice how he's got like a glowing, body of blue starlight down there.
I also think that there's a thing with like the armor. I think actually is like extending. Like I feel like that shield unfold like fold back
Welcome
and fold
to
back in.
the Proto Sprite.
Yeah, he's got a lot of extending and segmented stuff. His sword is like actually like got an edge of that light stuff we talked about. I also think that his helmet is both a dragon and a galaxy face. That's pretty cool.
It looks like he's smiling, but I don't think he is.
I will say that like I don't necessarily love the like bulbousness of like the hip armor plates. He's got like a couple of
They also
rounded
look like
areas, but he's pretty all
It
right.
also looks like he can just unhook. As you can see, it looks like he's gonna unhook them from the tips. Doesn't look like he-
Yeah.
Oh, I assume that when he attacks, like all of his armor like flies off and forms like a giant dragon face that's also a gun or something.
The only thing that I have a problem with is that he has a Zone of the Ender style like a cod piece.
he does.
Yeah, which is also kind of looks like a face.
Yeah, like he just got a
little
face
weird.
on his crotch.
But yeah, Photon Lord,
But aside from that, like
pretty important guy.
Like he may just be a guy in armor again, but the design stands out amongst all the other guys in armor. If we looked at a bunch of photon cards that were just this, we'd probably be tired of it. But he feels fresh compared to the rest of our galaxy armored lads.
Yeah, a dragony boy. So this is a light warrior, rank 8. He's got 2,500 attack and 3k defense, so flipped stats. He's generic, two level 8s. If this card is a photon card as material, can't be destroyed by card effects, which obviously Photon Dragon counts as. You do each of the following effects of Photon Lord once per turn. When your opponent monster activates effect, quick effect, detach material from this card, negate that effect. And if it was a galaxy card, destroy that card. That's right, you've got an in-archetype negate now. During your opponent's turn, you can take a galaxy or photon card from your deck, either add it to your hand or attach it to this card as material. So this is a card that, once again, gets you bonus effects because it means that, if you have 2 Galaxy Eyes under him, those guys are photon cards as well. So he is indestructible by card effect and has a 3k ass, which is pretty good, and is also just a detach negate. It's an monster negate. And can destroy if you detach a Galaxy card. Just a really good guy. And then it is during your opponent's turn, just a quick effect. You get to add a card to your hand or attach his material. That's a very funny deck thinning, yeah. So he's just a good consistency card. Again, kind of fun to see, this came out in Battles of Legend, Relentless Revenge, which was all about...
He is like the first.
First what? You kind of fade out there.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to finish.
Oh, sorry. Then I'll say Relentless Revenge was kind of a card they used for a lot of anime antagonists. They included a lot of extra cards from that's where all the actual versions of Summon Dice and Orgoth the Relentless are. They printed all the fairy tale cards Princessin and the Hexatrudin stuff. They printed a shitload of Time Lords that hadn't been printed yet. So rivals and antagonist cards got clunked in there, along with some reprints.
I will say I do like that his stats are reversed as a defensive negate card. He's a card that sits in defense mode and walls up, which
and
it fits with his design. He's heavily armored. He's he's your heavily armored backliner. That kind of.
Well, and also I want to say this is another thing we've talked about,
valuable.
right? That the Galaxy Eyes type deck struggles with, which is what do you do after your opponent makes you go, you blind second game 1 no matter what. Your opponent makes you go first game 2. What do? previously your best bet was Hope Harbinger, which is a situational spell negate. This guy's a much better negate. He's a monster negate that also can deck thin on your opponent's turn. So, like, definitely, like, gives you a good option to go into. But yeah, what were you going to say about the Tactics X as I grab our next
I
boy?
think it's usually the first or second Xyz monster take usually in the combo, because usually it's something if you're going first one. You always want to have it, because it's your only reliable negate outside of having Tachyon, having the best negate trap in the game.
Yeah, and you have to set that first. That's another thing we should mention is that this card also works going first if you are going second if you can make it, because if you can make it, then your opponent can't hand trap you or like monster trick you, which is good. It's not as great as some of the other blanket protections, but it's up there.
Okay, I was just.
Did I break up a little?
So I didn't say anything, but yeah.
Yeah, my Discord has been phasing in and out. My ping is like super fucked for some reason right now.
No.
You're fine now. It was.
Right?
Yeah. It probably just dipped into the red.
Yeah, it was only for that little section, like a little section in that little bit there.
For a small moment in time, I was concerned.
How many do we have left?
Not many. We're on the last block. There's like 6 names, and if we want to talk about the 3 new Galaxy names.
Here's the card that I almost spoiled for us. There's a Karibo in this archetype now, guys.
Yeah.
Why
So this is Galactic Karibo or Gala Karibo, but don't worry. This card is always treated as a Galaxy card.
Look, we realized we couldn't make a Galactose pun with Karibo. We gave up. We gave up. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of got there. Like I said, its name in the OCG is just Gala Karibo, but the problem is when you add the curry part, you gotta cut off the way you say Galaxy. So they tried. But yeah, it's a Galaxy Karibo. I don't have much else to add there. He's great. Look at him. His eyes are full of space.
Look at him.
It's a pretty fun little guy. So Gala Karibo is a light fiend, level 1. Got the usual Karibo stats, 300, 200. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, discard this card, special summon a Galaxy-Ice Photon Dragon from your hand or deck, change the attack target to it, then you can attach this card from your graveyard to an Xyz monster on the field as material. Just like all the effects. All the fucking effects.
This Karibo jumps through hoops and makes you pizza.
Yes, no. This is when your opponent declares an attack, special summon a Photon Dragon from your deck, change the attack target to it, which I believe means that starts the battle step and immediately gives you the chance to activate its effect. And also, you can attach it to an Xyz material on the field. If a Photon or Galaxy monster you control be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. My favorite effect. That's not I hope I said that sarcastic enough. I actually fucking hate this effect. I hate Balink's effects. They're so annoying, but that means they're good. This is a good card. This guy's crazy.
Yep.
Like I don't even think you want to attach this card as material because like fuck man, he's out there.
I just enjoy his.
You attach this card as material if you can instantly detach it for an effect, basically.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's ready to save the universe. He's just a little guy.
Why would you hurt me? I'm just a little goblin. I only give you like 2 XP.
Also, this card and several of the cards you're about to look at were all released in Photon Hypernova. That's right. That was a Galaxy-themed set, in case you fucking forgot. Everybody forgot, though, because it included more Tearlaments cards.
I mean,
and Labyrinth cards. So, yeah. R.I.P. So Photon Hypernova was a set that was actually like really important because it had, a lot of crazy stuff in there. But the unfortunate part is that it contained the back half of Tearlaments and I believe the first half of Kashtira. Also included some new Albaz cards like Granguignol and Rindbroom,
The Bestials had already been out at that point, right?
Yeah, no. Bestials were already out, but okay, yeah, this was actually the second half of Kashtira. This had Kashtira Rise Heart in it and the field spell, so like
the big one. The big one.
Yeah, so sadly, nobody paid attention to the fact that there were like 6 new Photon cards in this pack. But
Wait,
they're all
it
pretty
had
good.
It had Rise Hot and I'm assuming Rise Hot.
Yeah, I think he may have been printed in there as well. It had
Oh my God.
Scareclaw Hashira.
It's Galaxy
There's another
Archmage.
one
It's
of these
Galaxy
fuckers?
Archmage.
This is
it's
Galaxy
Galaxy-
Summoner.
Oh.
I was joking.
We weren't.
Yeah, it's Galaxy Summoner, baby. Summons galaxies. Just another, part of the crew. We had to give Mirror Sage a retrain because he sucks ass.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything
He
else to
got
say
it
about
all-
this look.
Omega, they finally got a drop stone.
Yeah, you can see it. It's in his chest right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, for modern Yu-Gi-Oh card art, this looks pretty good. He's got like robot hands now, neat, as opposed to like I mentioned before with Mirror Sage, that guy was wearing like oven mitts. The staff got a little more complicated, got some extra accents in there, so it's like it's all right, but not anything to write home about.
Despite despite my reaction, he looks fine. Like
Yeah.
it's there's not much more to say about these guys anymore.
Yeah, it's another level 4 light spellcaster. It's got 1600 attack, 1400 defense, so it's got number hunter stats. If this card is normal or special, target a Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard except Summoner, special summon a defense position. You can't target one other light monster you control. Its level becomes 4 until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. Boom, this is your 1-card rank 4. There it is. Can you put a Photon or Galaxy in your graveyard? Cool, you can now make a rank 4.
Yeah, it all works out. It's
It
good.
just
It's
works.
pretty solid. Like,
Yeah.
the major thing of Galaxy is while you may have many ways to just dump monsters on the field, you don't really have a main normal summon.
Yeah. And now our next card came out a little earlier. This was a tacked in as a funny little guy in Legendary Duelist Season 2. I think this was a V-Jump promo originally. Oh, no, it was from the Legendary Gold box. So, like, this was printed as a weird special support card that we added into some later sets. But alphabetically, he's only come up just now. It's the card you all know and fear. It's Afterglow Dragon. Specifically, Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon.
Oh,
It's
this
just
one-
they go full energy.
Yeah, it's just the radiance that's left over as he speeds away from you. This is continuing a long
he's
trend
just
of
alternative, basically, right?
yeah. This is continuing a long trend of, I think, of Blue Eyes type supports cards, where this is clearly just Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in like a different sort of situation,
This card exists to be material.
Like he's
Yeah,
out there because it's it's just your version of like alternative or Jet Dragon.
To me, this is also the card This is the card overlaid on top of the other dragon. It's not meant to be its own thing.
Well, it's the Afterglow. He comes out. So this is another level 8 Light Dragon, same stats as Photon Dragon, 3K25. If you control.
I'm reading his effect. What the fuck?
Oh, have you never been
It's
Afterglow
great.
Dragon? Yeah, this is how this deck
I
fucking kicks your
I love
shit
this
in
card.
ladder.
I love this card
Yeah.
too much.
If you control a Galaxy Ice monster, special summon this card from your hand in defense position. So he's just a free special for material. If this card is detached from an Xyz monster to activate that monster's effect, take a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your hand or deck, either special summon it or attach it as a Xyz material monster. Attach it as to an Xyz monster controls material. Then, if you activated this effect during the battle phase, double the attack of all number Xyz monsters you control. You can only use each effective Afterglow Dragon once per turn. Once again, this is the card that's just the game is over. This is how you do like 8K or 16 K damage easy.
It's also how you reliably actually get an Xyz on board, even if your hand is bad.
Also true.
I
yes.
came in this episode thinking, it's Galaxy. We're gonna see a few crazy cards, but I feel like every other Galaxy Dragon has been stupid. How is this deck not good?
I don't know actually. I guess it's because
it's bricky, as I told you. It's
yeah,
bricky
it's
as
true.
shit.
It's got the Blue Eyes curse, right? It's a level 8 dragon deck.
Open
enough,
many
yeah.
hands, and if you
Fair
don't
enough.
open like 3 of your specific cards, you are fucked.
And unfortunately, unlike Blue Eyes, I think it lacks a consistency tool like Bingo Machine Go, or dare I say True Light. You just don't have a lot of cards which summon your guys out. I mean, you've got monsters that summon them out of your deck, but like, it's a weird case.
Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, like looking on the lower spectrum of the Galaxy, at least the Galaxy side, there really aren't like there are ways to get monsters on the board, but there really isn't any way to properly facilitate like consistently turboing out a Galaxy Eyes or two like
Yeah.
there isn't a consistent way to turbo out 2 level 8s every hand.
Yeah, I think like if you have the right hand, you could go like Starliege Lord, detach 2, special summon from deck, and then if you've got Afterglow, you can then special summon Afterglow. But like we mentioned before, like Tyranno, he's cool. You can only special summon him when your opponent attacks you. Galaxy Knight, you can only special summon. You have to normal summon that guy. Actually, you can't special summon him with his own effect. You know, there's a lot of like weird conditions in their older cards. Afterglow is an amazing card that ends games. It's a very obvious break point where if I'm playing against Galaxy and I see the Afterglow Dragon about to go become a guy's material, I'm like, no, get that guy out of here. Stop it. Don't do that.
Yeah, leave.
Yeah, no. Zed's even saying, also agreeing with Axe, the deck bricks all the time. That's its problem. There's no really strong
No matter
consistency
how many good
booster for
cards
the
you
deck.
get, if you can't make at least 2 Xyzs on your opening turn, you are fucked.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny because nearly every Galaxy Eyes player I've come across has always had the easy combo immediately.
They'll try. You know,
Mhm.
they're trying.
Left
But
goes
this is
both
the thing
ways.
we talk about, right? Like, nobody can agree on what the actual ratios for Galaxy Eyes are. Anyway, this is Galaxy Photon Dragon. He's here. They finally made him.
Oh shit! Galaxy Dragon got upgraded.
Yeah, it's like Galaxy Dragon, or it's like Stealth Dragon, but light now.
Oh Jesus Christ! It took me a second to realize where his face was.
Yeah, his head's a little weird, but his face is down here. This is very funny to me that this is the most Blue Eyes White Dragon coded version of Galaxy.
Yes.
I kind of see it, but I weirdly feel like there's a contrast.
Well, it's got some yellow in there, but like it's definitely white, and it's definitely like
So this is Photon Galaxy Dragon, right?
Galaxy Photon Dragon. But yes,
Oh, okay.
it's that way
Oh,
around.
there's no eyes. Okay.
Yeah, there's no eyes in it. But it is, like I said, it is blue and has blue eyes and is white, but it's very funny. But he's got the yellow orbs, which are back, which again are not the worst. Some of them are placed in some weird sockets, but like the color contrast works. You know,
He's got the
light
acid
blue with
behind
light
him.
yellow.
You know, like the main thing I feel like people complain about Konami orbs without properly understanding that bad Konami orbs are color shades that clash with the palette of a monster's design.
Yeah.
Like the main ones being all the fucking Odd Eyes monsters, basically.
As much
I
as
could see
love
this
my
being
odd
equivalent of
eyes,
Jet Dragon. It is kind of like it's
It's still
it's the
quite
mechanical
stupid.
version. Galaxy Photon Dragon is a light rank 4 Dragon Xyz. It's got 2,000 attack, 0 defense. It's completely generic. Any 2 4s makes this. Other light monsters you control gain 500 attack. You can use each of the following effects once per turn. You can detach a material from this card, either add a Galaxy or Photon card from your deck to your hand, or send it to the graveyard. If a light monster is special summoned to your field except during the damage step, target one of those monsters, it level becomes 4 or 8 until the end of this turn. So Photon Dragon is another one of your really good starters. Again, the main problem is just once you get him, you still need a couple extra guys on board to start bringing out guys. But still, very good.
It gives you something to do with all your little random 4 shits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your little level 4 shitheads, but it still it doesn't solve the problem.
I mean, it's cool that they gave you, you know, an archetype version of your, like, detach to search. You know, you have a Gear Gigan X or a King of the Feral Imps type card. And that is something that is good. Galaxy has a really tight extra deck, y'all.
Yeah, they're just way too many.
Finding space to make this guy is going to be hard. So here's the guy who's probably going to make your eyes explode again, because we got another Cypher Dragon.
This is the guy I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. This is
Got a very
Galaxy
funny
Eyes Cypher X Dragon. Hey, notice how there's another
Oh.
Cypher Dragon behind him. This guy's really pointy. He's got a lot of jagged
This
lines
is-
to him.
He's shaped like an X.
This is Gurren Lagann encoded. It's
This
just
feel
the Galaxy Dragon is just inside this guy.
this feels like it'd be so cool if like it was like lighting, like animated with all the lighting and so on, because I feel like it looked really like
Ooh, yeah. Like
realistic
if you
almost.
could give him more dynamic lighting, that would probably
Like a
make
live
him
2D
look
version
better.
of this would be great.
But with the way he is with just kind of the flat color shading, it's not the greatest. Again, I don't think I'm offended by this, but it's just like it definitely makes me look at him at real quick and then go, huh, hold on. Let me put my sunglasses on. Let me adjust my
You look at
eyeballs to
you
this
look at
level
guy
of
and
brightness.
your pupils dilate.
Because like, boy, are there a lot of bright colors going on. It takes me a second to like start picking out like, okay, cool. There are still problems even then, like not unique to this guy, but pretty consistent Yu-Gi-Oh problems. Like, notice how he has knives on the side of his torso that are like sticking out. That's gonna be kind of awkward. He's got like ridges of spines on his knee tops. Like, he's very pointy, okay, is what I'm saying. But yeah, no, he's a crazy guy. So Galaxy Eyes Cypher X Dragon, which, by the way, should probably be Cypher EX Dragon, but, you know, they went for just the X. It's a light dragon, rank 10, 4K, 3K. 2 level 10 monsters, so he's generic in 10s. Once per turn, you can exceed summon Galaxy Eyes Cypher X Dragon by using a Cypher Dragon monster you control as material. Transfer to this
Which
card.
does count as a stolen monster by Cypher Dragon's effect, which is very funny.
Yes. You can detach 2 materials from this card. Your opponent can't target light monsters you control with card effect until the end of their turn. Once per turn during your standby phase, return a rank 9 or lower Dragon Exceeds monster from your graveyard to the extra deck. Then special summon that monster from your extra deck using this card as material. This is treated as an Exceed summon. This guy is a fucking pain in the ass. Like,
What's
yeah,
that? You go rid of me? By the way.
yeah,
Like,
this absolutely does
you
give you a
probably-
payoff.
You probably don't want to actually overlay it on top of your opponent's stolen monster, but if it's a monster you really don't want your opponent to have, it's an option.
Yeah, no. I think this card's just really good because it's got a lot of utility with the way its inherent rank up is phrased. Also, you don't even need to rank up. Like, if you could just make 10s, this guy's generic. But, like, you can use him with Blade, like you use Blade to pop, right? And then you're just like, okay, cool, overlay into Cypher X, you know? I can detach 2 and make my monsters, my light monsters, untargetable. And then just... You get to fucking reincarnation Exceed summon during your standby phase. Just put a rank 9 back and then
Yeah, by
stick
the
it on
way,
top of this guy.
It is not
Rank 9
Galaxy. It's not Galaxy Eyes Dragon Exceeds. It's any Dragon Exceeds monster.
Yeah,
which,
rank 9 or lower.
as
Just
we
put it
established-
back, summon it back.
as
And
we
you do
established,
transfer, by the way.
Dragon is a fucking stacked typing.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, this card's really good. This guy was also printed as like a special solo guy in Ghost from the Past, which combines some promo cards in like Photon Dragon, like Afterglow. Not literally Afterglow, but like that. So yeah, they added some extra boys. And then I mentioned him earlier, but this was the cover card of Photon Hypernova. We got C62.
Here
Uh,
it is. I'm looking for this.
Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime
Lord of
Photon
Light.
Dragon.
King Ghidorah.
I think out of our King Ghidorah ripoffs, I like this guy the best.
Yeah, I think it's because he keeps his arms and legs. Like, he's still
He's a
there, and
peanut.
he has the heads are actually like heads. They're not just like little shoulder pieces.
Yeah, the little wings.
Like
Yeah.
he's still got 3 tails, which is a bit much, but it doesn't. They don't feel obnoxious.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
And like I said, you can still see
Nothing
he's
about
got
this design-
hands and feet.
nothing about this design feels obnoxious like our other Neo Galaxy Eyes monsters.
Also, he's got a good, like, it's very, like, archetypal, but he has a good color shift. He's red and gold now with some purple accent. Like, you know, very typical for anime designs, you know, or even video game designs, is when the boss gets hard, he either turns red or turns gold.
He does both.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We also even fixed Prime Photon's like weird wing tail thing.
Yeah, he's got proper wings with swords. It's a
Like,
good look.
This
It's
makes
been
me
a
think
while. Do we want to put both Prime Photon back? Just
Yeah,
like,
Prime
be
was
next
like
to him so
5
we
years
can
before this
compare?
guy. Hold on, I think I can probably.
Always
It's
five.
been like an hour.
It's true.
It has been like an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, because like I said, that guy was
This-
like late Xyz era. This is a card
for
from
real,
last
this
year.
This card gives me vibes of like Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Boss, where you're just like floating around a giant fucking thing.
He's just
Yeah,
in
he's
space.
Ansem.
Yeah.
No. The summoner level 100 ability does that to me.
Okay. So yeah, this is the original Prime, who has the chunkier like shoulder wings into tails thing. Also, the way that his weird
His
like
legs are less
rounded
pronounced.
gauntlets work, as Chaos Prime Dragon looks a lot better. Like his arms look much more natural.
Well, and like you can see how like his arm gauntlets wrap around his shoulders in his regular version, but
They're angled.
because they're not blocked off by his giant tail wings, they can actually wrap around his fucking shoulders like
Yeah.
like a cloak style.
No, and he's got some extra detail which I like. Yeah, it's a good look. No, they did pretty good with this guy. Also, I believe this card is also pretty useful.
Isn't like this came out like the last month?
Oh, well, did you post in the wrong spot?
Yeah, he posted it.
Did you do the funny?
Oh,
Yeah.
I was trying to say
immediately-
it a few times earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt people.
I've read the first time texting this card. Immediately, he's the best chaos monster I've ever seen.
Yeah, so this is this is a rank 8 Xyz. He's got 4K attack, 3K defense. He can be made with 3 level 8 light monsters just by default. So he's still an 8, and you can just make him with 3 8s. You can also see some in this card by using number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon you control. Transfers materials to this card.
You need the chaos rank up. Just
Oh,
fuck it.
damn,
Just overlay.
that's
You-
great.
You don't care.
Yeah, no.
You don't care.
I mean, like I said, this card came out last year in Photon Hypernova. Konami was like, fuck it. We're done with rank up magics. Fuck it. You can just put this guy on top. Transfers materials. At the start of your battle phase, you can detach one material from this card. This card can make up to 3 attacks on monsters during this battle phase. If it has a Galaxy Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as material, it gains these effects. It's unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. Gains attack equal to the combined levels ranks of its attached materials times 100. The game is over.
Which is going to make it before detaching a what 6400.
Yeah. Oh, hey, and by
If
the
you
way,
do that-
at the start of the battle phase, if one of its materials is Afterglow, it's a number.
Yeah, it is.
So
So this guy becomes a 56, a 110 11,002. My brain can't do the math anymore.
He's
But
probably
he's
got a
an over
5-digit
10K
attack and
monster.
can make three attacks on monsters per turn. Also, if Photon Dragon is still stuck on there, he's unaffected by monster effects.
Yeah, he's 10K plus. He got 3 attacks. He's unaffected. You lose. You lose.
Once again,
I don't know
the
what to
game is
tell
over.
you. Yeah, the game's over.
The thing about this is this card with Afterglow Dragon makes it, even though like the damage is lowered, you still I think reach about, let's see, you get 72 based off attaching an 8, and then you go a bit further for double that, so about 14,000. So like, yeah, you're pretty good.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
it's great.
the
Never mind the
If-
fact that
if-
you can
if we
just
weren't- if
just
we weren't 3 hours deep, we'd be able to do the math. But all you need to know is that it's.
I'd have to actually look at the card text.
yeah, it's just like he's This is a card that ends the game. If you have made him correctly, he's going to have probably five-digit attack points and can attack 3 times. And also, once again, you can just hard make this guy. You can just, if you happen to get 3 Galaxy Eyes on the board, you can also just make him without going into Prime Dragon anyway. Like,
I think you only need 1 and...
well, you need 3 level 8 light monsters, so you need a little bit of setup.
You can get Knight, a Photon, and Afterglow pretty easily if you have a good hand. And then you go into that immediately into this, the other one.
And then that just makes
Stack
that
it
guy.
2
And
times,
he's
good.
fucking, again, unaffected, 3 attack, like detach 1, 3 attacks, Afterglow extra. It's crazy good. And the problem is that still is a card combo that requires you to have the ideal hand in this deck.
Probably is you probably want to make Lord first because you don't know if anyone, probably because if your opponent has any hand traps that stops doing anything along the way, you're just kind of fucked.
Well, yeah, but regardless,
It's still
there
like
are ways
a
to get to
crazy
this
strong
guy.
guy.
There are many ways to get to this guy, and if he stays on the board to the battle phase, sorry,
Yeah.
game's over.
Yeah.
Duel's
Good luck.
done.
Wait, hold on.
So we actually have a couple more guys because
Oh, no.
Galaxy is ongoingly getting support. The first is a card that is a V-Jump promo, so it will show up as pack filler later. This is Galaxy War Drake, actually a Galaxy monster.
I thought there's a higher version of this.
This is the highest res. It's not. It's like
Damn.
it's not digitized yet. It's only been printed as a.
There is an
promo.
Edipro digitization, but it's still not gonna be look
Yeah,
that
no.
great. I don't think.
Okay,
War
now
Drake-
this is Blue Eyes White Dragon looking.
Yeah, kind of. I think the. Let me see if the image is.
First one is actually it's the first Galaxy that actually has like gold to go with like platinum.
Yeah, he's kind of silver and gold, which is interesting. The
Okay, that looks better.
art from
Yeah.
the actual photo scan's a little cleaner, but it's smaller, so some people's screens may not show it so good. So this was a V-Jump promo. It's, Galaxy Eyes, not Galaxy Eyes, but Galaxy War
It's a
Drake.
card that's mostly for its effect.
It's a light dragon, level 4, 1500 attack, 1000 defense, so still giving you, extra play there.
Can't use it as
If a level 4 light monster is special summoned to your field, except during the damage steps, summon this card from your hand, but banish it when it leaves the field. Target one other level 4 light monster you control levels of this card, and that monster become 8 until the end of this turn. You can use each effect once per turn. You can't special summon except for light monsters, which doesn't matter to you if you're playing Galaxy because your whole extra deck is light.
The best part is that banish when it leaves the field also doesn't matter because it's gonna be Xyz material and
Yeah.
it's no longer gonna count as being on the field. when it's
Basically,
attached.
that just means that if you
That
try to
works
use it
because
for
you can't-
link plays,
You can't use
Yeah.
it for flare. Unfortunately.
can't use it for what?
Soul Flare.
I mean,
Soul
yeah,
Flare.
then it gets banished. But, I mean, you don't need to because this card is an instant rank 4,
Well-
instant rank 8.
Well, does it need at least 2,000? Solar Flare, or is it the Galaxy?
You can't use it for Soul Flare anyway, but that's because it needs... Well, this alone can't be Soul Flare. But it could be if you special summoned, like, one of your other guys who's big, you could.
Wizard.
But I will also say, like I said, this is all, it only procs on special summon anyway. You're not supposed to... I don't think you're supposed to use this as your link fodder. This is just instantly a rank 4 or rank 8.
Yeah, this is how you get to number 62 going into C62.
Like, it's literally just, hey, do you want to make a rank 4 or do you want to make a rank 8? Because it turns any of your 4s into
Oh
an
God,
8.
let's see. You'd run
Or
3 Photon.
get
You'd
extra
run
fours.
3 Galaxy Eyes. You'd run 3 Soldier. You'd run 3 Afterglow. You run 3 of this. 2 Knight.
I mean,
All
Axe, you say
spells,
you run
yeah.
3 of X. The greater Galaxy Galaxy playing community would probably fight about some of that. The ratios are in flux.
I mean, fair. You could probably play 2 Afterglow.
The ratios
I think
are
it's-
in flux by the supervis, by the phases of the fucking moon to Galaxy players.
I mean, yes. There's no consistent thing because they brick. It bricks regardless.
yeah.
So it's like there's nothing you can do.
War
about
Drake's
it.
good. It's a good
Yeah.
card. Like
It's a good card for what it is.
He's just a little extra guy. And now we also have kind of art-wise not a lot to write home about, but is a card that is definitely part of that the Duelist of Brilliance wombo combo that is very much meant to start bridging that gap. This is Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal.
It looks cool.
Galaxy Eyes Time Origin Dragon is kind of how one of the other OCG names work for it. So this is just Tachyon Dragon, but Ghost. It's like Spirit of Blue Eyes, but it's the spirit of the Tachyon dragon.
Channeling pure space energy.
He's looking pretty sick.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
So this is a light dragon, level 8, 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. When a dragon exceeds monster declares an attack, attach this card on the field to it as material. You can also only use each of these effects once per turn. By the way, that's a mandatory first effect. If a dragon exceeds monsters on the field, quick effect, special summon this card from your hand to either field. If this card is normal or special summon, add a Tachyon spell trap. Its owner adds a Tachyon spell trap from their deck to their hand. Which means, by the way, you still search even if you summon it to your opponent's field. So yeah, no, this is just another guy who gives you more guys.
are we gonna discuss the new Tachyon spells?
We'll
like
probably
they're-
do that in the Tachyon episode.
There is technically a Galaxy Trap because it's Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, the trap card.
Yeah. That card is very
But-
good. We can bring that up. There is one more that I have pulled up that is, again, not... This is strictly not a Galaxy card, but is very much supposed to be related. Because
Our
the
other
last...
baby,
Which one?
our other baby dragon.
No, that's the Tachyon Cloud Dragon. I'm talking about Dragluxion,
Oh right.
because this guy explicitly name checks Galaxy or Tachyon.
Yeah,
It's,
this-
you know,
this one's a new one,
Draglubion, but
too.
fluffy.
Keep in the Tachyon armor.
Yeah,
Because you could look at the armor plating.
yeah, he's got some
he
Tachyon
is
stuff
just-
going on.
Yeah, that's essentially what he is. He's just.
Hey,
Dragon
guys,
Legion
guess
wearing
what?
it.
He's a. Oh, sorry, Loth.
That's okay. I finished what I was saying anyway.
Okay, what were you gonna say,
He's
Vesper?
got another rank 8.
Yeah.
Huge fucking shocker.
Also,
No.
they really undersold this guy's hypothetically translated name. I kind of hope they give him the extra fluff in English.
Or what is it?
Because in Japanese, this guy's name is Shin-e Kinryu Dorakuxion. So, Ethereal Gold Dragon
Divine.
Dragluxion.
Yeah, Divine Shadow Gold Dragon.
Big. Technically, he does have, I believe, the kana to just say Dragluxion to, like, force the pronunciation. But, like, man, that's really underwhelming. So this is another rank 8 light dragon. It's 2,500 attack, 3k defense. It's completely generic. If this card's special summoned from the extra deck, add a Galaxy or Tachyon card from your deck to your hand. Detach 2 materials from this card. Special summon a rank 8 dragon exceeds monster with 3,000 attack from your extra deck by using this card you control as material. Then you can attach a Galaxy monster from your extra deck to it as material. This is treated as an exceed summon. Transfer this card's materials to the summonable monster.
Meg, I've corrected myself. Okay, so this is the first or second card you play, and then you play Galaxy Lord afterward.
Yeah, hell, guess what? You know, you can do the wombo combo to set up for Galaxy Lord. Like, yeah, no, this guy's like literally your starter.
I do have unfortunate news for you, Omega.
What's up?
It likely will just be Dragluxion because looking at Dragluon and Draglubion, they
Yeah.
have the same.
Yeah, it's got the same naming
epithets where
scheme. It's sad.
Number 46 is Ethereal Dragon Dragluon, and Draglubion is Dragon Shadow God Dragavian.
Yeah, it's sad.
So,
He's gonna
we
lose
just
some of the
bring up
extra sauce, but it's fine. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Well,
Damn
it's
it.
text size, you know, like cards are only so small, you know, they can't be made smaller.
It's
almost like they could be made bigger, I
Zell especially. Basically, every single number monster had like an extra like epithet before its name.
Yeah.
Like how Utopia, as has been memed to death in some parts of the
King of
Yu-Gi-Oh
Hope,
community,
yes.
is King of Hope, Kibo o Hope. But we couldn't call it Hope. We called it Utopia instead. And that's all I'll say.
Which I think implies more, which really shouldn't.
But you know they got some weird stuff in there. But yeah, we mentioned it before, but also I'll pull up the card art real quick. The like photo scan. They're getting a new trap card. It's called Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, which is the name of the set, but also is now the name of a card. Thanks.
I mean, it's not
Thank
the first
you.
time it's happened.
No, Duelist Alliance is also a card. It's just
Cyber
funny.
Dragon a card now for you.
Is Blazing
for you,
Vortex
Zach?
a card yet?
That could be a card name. I don't actually know. But this is a normal trap, which is a Tachyon card. It says if you control a Galaxy-Eyes Tachyon Dragon monster, you can activate this card from your hand. During the battle phase, detach a material from your Galaxy-Eyes Xyz monster, shuffle all monsters your opponent controls that were normaled, or special summoned this turn into the deck. If you control a Chaos number, a number C monster, this card's effect and activation cannot be negated. You can only activate once per turn. Your
It's
board,
funny.
put it back. You are being
I
sent
love
to
it.
space. No,
I love it because
yeah,
you desperately need this in Galaxy because you need to do any of your plays work at all or you're fucked.
There are plenty of other Tachyon monsters that we didn't really discuss that
Yeah.
help support shit. But as you can see, we've been going 3.5 hours.
Yeah, no.
On just the Galaxy monsters.
Yeah, it's
Photon and
I will
Tachyon will be
I'll-
a separate
I'll
episode.
put down a part. I will
Yeah.
put that part 2 for that.
In
And we might-
fact,
we
yeah.
might
Don't
still-
worry, Axe.
we might-
I will
we
when
might-
we. Good.
We might also grab some of these old cards again to show what other cards lead into.
Yeah,
as,
I
reference,
might
like,
we probably won't go in depth, but I'll probably be like, by the way, in case you forgot, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon came out at this time, that sort of thing. But yeah, don't
So,
worry, Axe. I will
the-
just automatically replace your Galaxy with Photon/Tachyon.
Yeah, and
For
in
next,
the same vein,
field trip poll.
Photon Dragon
Well,
is still pretty important.
Yes.
Even though he's not a Tachyon monster in this
Yeah.
case.
I do hope you cover at least, I guess, some of the trap and spells. Kind of the point.
Yeah,
That-
that definitely, I think, especially also with Tachyon, that feels much more like they're going all in on the spell trap. I believe were a couple of.
There's
I
like
think there was
Galaxy
like
Zero,
one
and I think like
spell
it's,
trap
like, something
searcher
like-
for
there's, like,
Galaxy.
I forget
Well,
two.
Zero's a pretty
Tachyon
important
Galaxy-
card.
There's also the one I think that lets you basically just search for a pair for.
I think that's Expedition.
Yeah, something like that. That's an important card.
There are a couple of key spell traps that we are leaving out again because we have been here for 3.5 hours, and like I said, when I was building this list this afternoon, I was like, man, I feel kind of sick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. So we've persevered, and I don't feel too bad now. I will probably like fucking adrenaline crash out after I turn the stream off, but we'll get
I
some
will
spell
give one
traps in
spell
there.
card an honorable. I will give one an honorable mention because it's very quick. Which is Galaxy Expedition, which is just if you control level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, special summon a level 5 or Galaxy Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck. So if you have one, and you have this, you have two now. That's all the card does. So
It's
a
important
pretty,
Oh, Yeah, no,
It's a good, very needed extender.
yeah, and that's kind of the thing to talk about. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't remember what it's called, but I know there's a Galaxy themed spell trap, which I'm pretty sure has Galaxy in the name. That's like summon one or maybe two tokens. That like have 2,000 attack.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember what
the
it's called, but
name
like
for it.
they have a lot of little synergistic effects. They also do have one of the craziest counter traps in the game, the Tachyon Transmigration, that says
I
like
love it so much.
if this card is activated in a certain circumstance, negate everything previous in the chain.
will
Which is
say,
now a
yeah,
card that's like
activate
super
chain
searchable
for-
in this deck.
Activate a Chain Link 2 or higher and negate the activations of your opponent, or well, if you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, activate a Chain Link 2 or higher. Give activations of your opponent's spell and trap cards and monster effects activated before this card in this chain. And if you do, shuffle the negated cards on the field into the deck. If you control a Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon monster, activate this card from your hand.
Yeah, no. So
Well,
like Lords of the
if I
Tachyon
had a
Galaxy is
favorite
very
card-
much made with that vibe.
If I had a favorite card, Yu-Gi-Oh, I think it's Tachyon Transmigration.
Look, like
yeah, I wonder why.
It's just
Omni-negates-
it's just the most elaborate fuck you in like the most elegant way.
yeah, like it is the super poly of
counter traps. Yeah, it's like, Solemn Judgment is like, don't. Tachyon Transmigration is like, don't. Also, get rotated. Go home.
Yeah, get rotated, stupid.
It's very amusing how the Tachyon like subtype really seems to like doing that. It seems as though just like clearing the board.
I
just
think
like,
it's because
get all
just
this
because
off.
Transmigration did that, which was actually like an effect that was associated with the dragon.
It's because Primos.
Yeah.
Prime, or is it yeah? Because they originally like negated everything.
But yeah, we're chilling. Next week we're gonna be back with more deck build packs, and we're gonna talk about Vanquish Soul VS. Talk about fighting games.
Hey, Very fitting timing. Hey, did you know Akuma's the best character in Street Fighter again?
Yeah, Kuma's back.
Akuma's back.
I think it's very funny the thing they did with the taunt.
Yeah, like we do not need to drag the stream out more, but if you guys had not seen Akuma, just take a glance on the Akuma trailers. That's all I'll say on the matter.
You have to tell me what he does with the Tom on the stream.
Yeah, I will. Well, we gotta end the stream.
But yeah, we should wind in the stream, and we will. So, like I said, it'll be Vanquish Soul next time. Keep your eyes peeled for the Fail Portrayal poll. This was a poll winner on Patreon. If you support us on Patreon at 5 and up, you can vote in the poll. Expect, like I said, to see Photon. I almost said Photon Galaxy. No, we did Galaxy. Photon and Tachyon on that list, as well as maybe some other options. You don't have to vote for them back to back, but if you want to, you can do that. The poll will be chilling, and we'll see you guys in future stuff. And I'm gonna get on out of here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Stream's over. Go home.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.